Sunday fun day and a baseball celebration day at Fox Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Hello again, baseball lovers. It's Kyle Haney. We've got a beautiful Sunday to play, and it's probably going to be our final Sunday at Fox Field. You know, we've been saying Lynchburg in really good shape to make a regional appearance, regardless of what happens in this ODAC tournament. Lynchburg, by virtue of being the number 2 team in those NPI rankings, has pretty much secured their spot in NCAA regional play, but those games might not happen here. They might happen over at City Stadium or at the Liberty University field, or Lynchburg may have to hit the road and play. So we'll treat this as the final day for us on Fox Field in 2026. And for Roanoke, they've really got to treat it as potentially their final day. They're sort of in a must-win situation to keep their season going on. Roanoke will enter today at 23-17. They will not be in line for an at-large bid. So the Maroons need to keep their season going by winning today twice and then winning in the Final Four next week for the ODAC tournament. That will be in Tyson. So the teams are in 2 slightly different scenarios. It is an elimination game right now for Roanoke. It's not for Lynchburg. Lynchburg takes game 1 of this best 2 out of 3 series on Friday. Lynchburg wins that 16-6. The run rule came in the bottom of the 8th inning. Roanoke pushed out 6 runs on 12 hits. There were 2 extra base hits. Noah Donahoe hit his 8th home run of the year. Lynchburg had 16 runs on 17 hits, 4 extra base hits in there, including Eli Carroll's big home run blast. Carroll drove in 6 as the designated hitter for Lynchburg. Fast forward to today, Lynchburg leads 1-0 in the series. It's ODAC opening round play. All the top seeds are up 1-0 in these 2 out of 3 matchups. That's Lynchburg, Shenandoah, Randolph-Macon, and Bridgewater. And we'll try to check in on some scores as the day goes on. But certainly a lot to play for here at Fox Field in Lynchburg. Always fun to get together on a Sunday. And I mentioned we've got nice weather. It's definitely spring weather, 58 degrees outside, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. It was still in the 40s when the guys got out here for batting practice this morning. For Roanoke, they've shuffled up their lineup just a little bit. We'll greet and meet the starting lineups for both squads after our national anthem, which is coming up in just a moment. Lynchburg, 32-4-1 this season. This is game 2 of the postseason, game 38 overall. They'll send Logan Tapman to the mound, and Nick Matfield expected to take the ball in game 2 today, but that's the if necessary game. If Lynchburg wins this first one, then we will only be playing 1 today, and the Hornets will advance to the Final Four in Tyson. A reminder, Lynchburg has won 3 consecutive ODAC championships, and 4 of the last 5 have gone to the Lynchburg Hornets. It's a real dynasty here in the Hill City, and Lynchburg looks to continue that today, or at least take another step in the right direction. Can the Maroons spring an upset or 2? We'll find out in just a second. It'll be Lynchburg and Roanoke. This is LHSN on Flo.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Creating change. Fostering belonging. Achieving excellence. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA.
Honors for anybody looking to make a difference.
It's really community and connecting with the people around you.
Let's play some Old Dominion Athletic Conference Tournament baseball on the grounds at James C. Fox Field. My name is Kyle Haney. We've got a crowded press box. It was a little bit rowdy earlier with some special guests, which we might run down, in our shout-out roll call in the middle of the second inning or something like that. But back to baseball here, and it's a last chance to continue dancing for the Roanoke Maroons. They need to win in this one to force the, if necessary, Game 3, and then they would need to win that to continue their season. Roanoke, coached by Brett Kamansky, in his second year, they are 23-17, 19-21-1 last year. So I think it's going to be a better campaign regardless of what happens today. They'll finish with a winning record, obviously, regardless of what happens today. But Roanoke would like to extend the season, if nothing else, maybe just get the extra game here on Sunday. Roanoke, losers of 2 of their last 3. They're 6-4 in their last 10. That encompasses games going back to April the 11th. Lineup changes for Roanoke. Nate Prince and Noah Donahoe still 1-2 in the lineup, but then here's where things start diverging. Hayden Giordano, who was the starting pitcher on Friday, he'll bat third and play third base. Michael Hetzel, the first year, having an outstanding season. He's over 400 now after going 2 for 2 on Friday. He will be cleaning up. Liam Murphy playing first base, hitting fifth. Hector Orozco back in the starting lineup. We saw him in one of the regular season meetings between these two squads. Jack Fellner will go from 9th to 7th in the order, still playing shortstop. Danny Ferguson will catch. Dylan Bonzen slides down to the 9 hole. Roanoke will go with Riley Fitzgerald on the mound. For Lynchburg, it's Logan Tapman on the bump. Number 24, the senior, is an undefeated 6-0. 3.96 is the earned run average. He struck out 61. At one point, he was leading the conference in strikeouts. He's still in the top 5 right now. His battery mate behind the plate will be Sean Pokerock. Sean's brother Jack at first. Batman and Robin up the middle with Benton Jones and Brandon Garcia playing second and short. Kyle Moshier at the hot corner. In the outfield, left to right, Munitz, Madden, and Flora. Tapman from the windup. First pitch is off the plate, and we are underway in the Hill City of Lynchburg. Baseball fun on Lakeside Drive here on May the 3rd. Lynchburg, 32 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie. They've beaten Roanoke all 3 times this season. 3 run rule victories against the Maroons. Lynchburg has scored 10 runs or more in 6 of their last 10. Lynchburg winners of 24 of their last 25. Slider from Tapman will land for called strike 2. The hitter is Nate Prince, 381 on the season, 320 last year. He had a multi-hit game on Friday, 2 for 5. He was one of 3 Maroons with multi-hit games. Lynchburg had 7 in their lineup with more than 1 hit. Swing and a miss. Tapman got him on the slider, and it's a strikeout for the initial out in the ball game. Back to this Lynchburg offense here from Friday. 17 hits, 4 extra base hits. For Lynchburg, everybody in the lineup had at least 1 base hit. 7 had multiple hits. Quinn Madden and Eli Carroll had 3 apiece. And Lynchburg seems like their offense is rolling again. Great individual numbers, great collective team numbers for this Lynchburg offense. Pitching staff pretty good for Lynchburg. They did use 5 arms. Kaltreiter started and got the win. His 8th rather, of the season on Friday. Tapman here looking for win number 7. Got a swing and a miss from Noah Donahoe. First-year second baseman was 2 for 5, including his 8th home run. What a talent, young talent for Roanoke. That was one of our themes of Friday. Roanoke has a bright, bright future. Sometimes that doesn't make you feel so great when your season might be coming to an end, especially if you're one of the seniors. You don't want to hear about the young talent, but there is a good crop of youngsters on this Roanoke team that could really make an impact next year. I think the future very bright for Brett Kamansky, and he'll continue to recruit and bring in new young talent, or perhaps transfer talent as well. Slider missed from Logan Tapman. Lynchburg in the home red top. Sunday red here for Lynchburg. Black hat, red bill, white pants. Gray on gray again for the Roanoke Maroons. From Salem, Virginia. That's the fun little tidbit. Roanoke College is actually in the city of Salem. Soft shot to the right side. Jack Pokerock moving well. Drops that left shoulder to scoop that one and get the second out of the inning. Here's Hayden Giordano. Did not bat on Friday in his pitching performance, but he has been hitting a lot this season. 321 is the average. That's 18 hits, 1 double, 1 triple, 4 homers for Hayden Giordano. He's driven in 17. Bats with 2 out and none on here in the top of the first inning. 58 degrees in the Hill City. This is May the 3rd. We're not exactly halfway through spring. The halfway point of spring comes on Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. That'll be the 46th day of spring. Spring is 92 days long this year. So we're not quite halfway through spring. That's the fun thing about college baseball. You hear about boys of summer. That's the old phrase, the boys of summer. College baseball, really, it's the boys of winter and then spring. You don't get many games actually in summer in college baseball. Slider from Tapman, very close. He's really ripping that thing off nicely. Tapman can really make that slider move away from the right-handed hitter. Logan Tapman will throw a very good changeup. And he can pitch with velocity with his fastball. Has been over 90 at times in his career. Another big guy, 6'3", 6'4". Grounder left side. Look at Brandon Garcia. Hollywood is lights, camera, action early. Going in the hole and unloading to get Hayden Giordano. 6'3", 3 up, 3 down. Side sent back in order, and let's meet this Lynchburg starting lineup now. It will be that man, Hollywood. Brandon Garcia leading it off. 2 for 5 on Friday. Brandon Garcia will carry a .348 season average into the ball game, and he's got plenty of career accolades, which we will continue mentioning. So does the guy hitting right behind him, his high school teammate Ben Jones. Benny Baseball had 2 hits on Friday. Jack Polkarock hitting 3rd. He had a multi-hit day on Friday, including the game ender there in the bottom of the 8th inning for the run rule. Quinn Madden with a 3-hit performance. He's been hot this season and really catching fire again lately. Joe Munitz will bat 5th. Then it's Sean Polkarock. Nobody's been hotter in the lineup than Shawnee. Kyle Flora will follow him up 7th. Here's the change for Lynchburg. Gabriel Pegues, the first year in the DH slot and hitting 8th against the lefty Riley Fernandez. Kyle Moshier rounds out the lineup for Lynchburg. It's a Hornet team that hits .345 as a ball club. Home run numbers are up to 48 on the season now after Eli Carroll's big blast on Friday. They'll face this southpaw from Florida, Riley Fitzgerald. 3-2 this season, also has 2 saves. 4.78 is the earned run average. Here's a number that's not so good. He's got more walks than strikeouts. He's punched out 23 and given up 26 base on balls. If you're Roanoke and you want to spring the upset, that will include playing 2 games. You know you'll have to lean on your bullpen some. I think the Maroons would like to get some length out of Riley Fitzgerald. Maybe he can pitch into the 5th, 6th, 7th inning and give his team a chance to win. But he will obviously be facing a very potent Lynchburg lineup. Hornets' average last year was .311, and that was for a squad that went 41-9. So consider the fact that it's up to .345 this year. Slugging percentage is up over 100 points this season. Brandon Garcia, this will be career postseason game number 45. He's reached base in 40 of them so far. We had that astronomical number on Friday when Brandon Garcia did get on and score a run in the first inning. He has played now 45 postseason games, and he's reached base in 40 of them. On-base percentage is actually slightly under 500. But when his career finishes, he will not only be one of the best players just in Lynchburg history in general, but one of the best postseason performers in Lynchburg history. Such an integral part his first year in the national championship, both with the bat and the ball. You're talking about leading off for a national championship team and playing shortstop as a freshman. That is borderline unheard of. And your comparisons for other sports, I think, would probably be maybe being a freshman point guard for a basketball team, maybe freshman quarterback. A little bit different because, again, the quarterback has the ball, kind of like the pitcher has the ball. But talking about a complete two-way player, that's Brandon Garcia. And now we can update the total. In 45 postseason games, he's reached base at least once in 41 of them. A leadoff walk for Brandon Garcia. on 4 pitches. Let's see if Riley Fitzgerald can get it figured out in a hurry here. Hard to do it against a lineup like this. Here's Ben Jones. 355 on the season for Benny Baseball. Got the bat off his shoulder. That one tailed down and in, but was a called strike by our home plate umpire, who's in the powder blue today. The boys in the field have those black windbreaker tops on. We've actually got a blue out there, like we used to talk about with the umpires. Lynchburg, coached by Travis Beasley in his 3rd season. 110 wins now in the career for Travis Beasley. This is game 38 for Lynchburg this year, game 2 of the postseason. Unbeaten in the month of May after a 12-1 April. Curveball missed from Fitzgerald. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Pokerock on deck. Lynchburg 3 lefts, 6 rights in the starting lineup this time. Options on the bench to make changes if Roanoke goes to their bullpen and does bring in a righty or even another left-hander. There's options all over the place for Lynchburg. We saw Eli Carroll as a fantastic option DHing Friday. Ryder Warren's been great as the DH, and the list does not stop there. That one upstairs. Lynchburg in this starting lineup today. 2 freshmen, no sophomores, 2 juniors, 5 seniors if you count Logan Tapman. 1 grad man, that's the 5th year, Quinn Madden. Outer black there to make it a full count, 3-2. Nice job by Fitzgerald to work the edges there as Ben Jones confirms the strike zone with our blue. Benny Bases will foul that one off, and we'll file this under our first long at bat of the afternoon so far. Pitch number 7 coming up here. Ben Jones has played in 45 postseason games now. Logan Tapman, this is postseason appearance number 10. We'll mention some of Logan Tapman's postseason exploits here in just a moment when he comes back to the mound. Full focus on the Lynchburg offense with Ben Jones hitting with 1 on and none out. The at-bat will continue with another foul ball. Pitch number 8 on the way. 3 run rule victories for Lynchburg against Roanoke this year. It has felt pretty dominant at times, but we saw this Maroon ball club really make it interesting in the middle innings on Friday. I think they could do that again. Ben Jones ripping this one down the line. Here we go. Turn and burn time for Ben Jones. Let's see if Brandon Garcia's going to try to score from first. He will get the wave around. Play at the plate. Garcia head first slide. He's safe, and Lynchburg is on the board. Benny 2 bags here with an RBI double. That one was absolutely smashed past the diving first baseman, Liam Murphy. Murphy was close, but when he couldn't come up with it, you knew it had the velocity to probably get all the way down to the boundary, and it did. Lynchburg leads 1-0. Here's Jack Pokerock. Ben Jones doubled on Friday. So let's go career double update for Ben Jones. He was already the career doubles leader. And I just gotta find all the paperwork. Or, once again, fans, you can go to lynchburgsports.com and click on the Lynchburg baseball roster and find Ben Jones and get the career numbers there. Jack Pokerock hitting now as the pitch misses. 1-1 count. Jack had 2 hits on Friday and was hit 3 times. That was the interesting statistical oddity on Friday for Jack Pokerock. He got hit 3 times in 1 ball game. Feels rare, doesn't it? Nobody out, 1 on. That's Ben Jones in scoring position after Ben's 53rd career double. 53 doubles in Ben Jones' career. And that's hit number 227 in the career for Ben Jones. Next one ties him for the all-time program lead. The 2-1 to Jack Pokerock. Swung through it. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so Ben Jones already the all-time doubles leader in program history. Stephen Scott ended his career with 46. Ben Jones is up to 53 now. The 2-2. Hit pretty hard. Down to right field. Chasing back to the wall and gone. Jack Pokerock with an early blast. Pole-to-pole power for Jurassic Park. The apex predator is at it again. It's a 2-run shot that will score him and Benny Jones. And Lynchburg all of a sudden in great shape, leading 3-0. They haven't made an out yet. Man, oh man. Power to all fields. Home run number 14. We have seen Jack hit some opposite field bombs this year. That one was sort of a low arcing kind of a line drive. The right fielder, Hector Orozco, really gave good chase and nearly got to the fence in time. But he had no chance to bring that one back over as Jack Pokerock drives in 2 more. How about ribbies now? Jack with 73 runners driven in. That will extend his single-season program lead. This ball's hit well and high to deep left center field, but it'll be caught by Nate Prince. There's your first out of the inning. Still catching our breath after another electric moment. First from Ben Jones with the hard double, and then Jack Pokerock with a 2-strike home run. Both of those hits came with 2 strikes. That's one we really need to keep our eye on, because that's something Travis Beasley and also the hitting coach Drew Henry have talked about. 2-strike hitting, also 2-out hitting. Very important to Lynchburg's offensive game plan. Extending innings, making pitchers throw more pitches. You can see that it was very fruitful for both Jack Pokerock and Ben Jones. Lynchburg with 2 hits, and they're both extra base knocks right now. Joe Munitz is the hitter. Munitz is going to get sawed off, but just dump that one into right field. Joe wants 2 bases. How about rip and run for Joe Munitz? Head first slide. He's in there with a double. 3 hits for Lynchburg. They're all extra base hits. Hornets are firing on all cylinders early here. It's only 12-17. We're just barely into this Sunday afternoon. Lynchburg is rock and roll at the drop of a hat. 49 home runs in the season now for Lynchburg. Double counter is up to 84. And that will make that slugging percentage continue to climb. Here's Sean Pokerock. He's been the hottest bat in the zip code lately. 10 for his last 13. Strike 1 to Shawnee. Last 5 games is the streak right here for Sean. 10 for 13. The average equates to 769. And the on-base percentage is over 840 in those last 5 games. Got some walks in there, 6 of them to be in fact. Sean has driven in 8 in that 5-game sequence. He has been red hot. Sean Pokerock, team lead in average with 436. His brother Jack has the team lead in hits. Sean slightly under this. Long run to right field. Orozco's got it. He'll load up and throw a bullet into the relay man to keep Joe Munitz at second. 2 outs now. Not a terrible swing from Sean Pokerock, just slightly got under it. Good job by Riley Fitzgerald here. He's been under pressure the entire game. That's what Lynchburg's offense does. I think he's made some good pitches. He's got a chance to get out of the inning here facing Kyle Flora. Flo had 2 hits on Friday. 374 is the season average now for the first-year right fielder for Lynchburg. Batting 7th for most of the season. I think he was in that 6th slot for a couple games. Lineup has been fairly set and static for Lynchburg. The DH has been in the 8-hole for most of the year. And the positions in the field haven't been much wiggle room. Brandon Garcia missed a game with injury. That's about it, though. Hard ground ball. Ooh, that hit the base runner, Joe Munitz. He's going to be out. Did his best to try to avoid it, but you have to give the fielder a chance to make a play. That'll go down as runner interference to end a very good first inning. Jack Pokerock, 2-run home run, his 14th of the season. Ben Jones now 1 hit away from the all-time program record. Lynchburg on top early here at Fox Field.
It's been one of my favorite parts of college.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
Your calling is beyond the classroom. This is where you feel at home, where you feel connected. And this is the place where you'll answer that call. Here, you'll learn to lead the way in the industry you love. The equestrian sport management major at the University of Lynchburg. Accepting applications now.
See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm.
Productive first inning for Lynchburg. They lead 3-0. Brandon Garcia walked. Ben Jones doubled and scored his high school teammate. And then Jack Pokerock, 2-run home run. Those hits came with 2 strikes. Joe Munitz doubled, an 0-1 count, I believe. But Joe out on a hard batted ball from Kyle Flora. That hit him. He did try to avoid it, but it doesn't matter if you try to avoid it or not. If it makes contact with you, then it's an out. I think officially it's none left on for Lynchburg. 3 runs on 3 hits. Here's Michael Hetzel. DH was 2 for 2, drew a couple walks on Friday. Logan Tapman missing down low. We said we'd give you some of Tapman's postseason numbers in postseason play. He is 3-1 with 1 save. The team has 6 wins overall in games that he has pitched in. The earned run average is just 2.84. Really impressive from Logan Tapman. He's only allowed 1 postseason home run in his career. And I think a lot of folks remember, but maybe worth reminding, he did pitch in the World Series there in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in 2023. Pitched in that championship game against Johns Hopkins, a scoreless inning for Logan Tapman. That was massive at the time, and looking back, it still feels very, very large. Tapman mainly out of the bullpen in 2024 during that 12-2 postseason run. And then last year, back to starting, although he did throw 2 scoreless innings in relief against Rowan in the Super Regional game number 2. Tapman went inside. Most of the ball club thought it might have been strike 3. Michael Hetzel instead will stay in the batter's box. He's the leadoff man here in the top of the second. Hetzel, Murphy, and Orozco for Roanoke. Maroons got turned away in order in the first inning. Hetzel way out in front of an off-speed pitch. Lynchburg's going to have 8-9-1 due up in their half of the second inning. Kyle Haney spending a Sunday with you, Sunday Fun Day, baseball celebration day. We may not, I shouldn't say probably, but we may not have another game at Fox Field this year. Just don't know what's going to happen in the NCAA regional play. You don't know where the NCAA might send you. How about strike 3 looking? They're going to send Hetzel back to the dugout. He couldn't believe it. Absolute paint from Logan Tapman for his second punch out of the ball game. Beautiful location there for Logan Tapman. I tell you, that fastball's got some zip on it today as well. I think velocity's been there for Logan Tapman all season, but he typically is a guy that gets stronger as the year goes on. Really does a good job of managing his body and understanding how to get himself ready for every start and appearance, and then how to be strong at the end of seasons. That's not always easy to do. Foul ball out of play from Liam Murphy, senior from Rumsum, New Jersey, went 1 for 3 on Friday. Hitters have to do that as well. They have to understand the grind and the demands of a long baseball season. But pitchers, it's a different type of workload, different stressors. And then obviously you got the divide between starting pitchers and relievers, and some guys and gals end up doing some of both. So that's a challenge as well. Great location. Yeah, the fastball's got some zip. A little movement as well. More than a little movement. Tapman has that 2-seamer. It really has a nice sinking action. It's not a true sinker. It's a 2-seam fastball, but a lot of life and movement. The 0-2 from Tapman. Away target. Slight miss there as that one dove downstairs, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Liam Murphy. 300 hitter on the year. Murph has socked 4 home runs and 12 doubles. He's driven in 29. Tapman comes home with the 1-2 just south of the zone, and now we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with Hector Orozco on deck. Orozco, the first-year man from Venezuela by way of James Madison High School in Northern Virginia. Another Pudge Jorman guy. The 2-2. That's just a plain old miss from Logan Tapman, and now our count is full. Great geography on this Roanoke roster here, and particularly in the starting lineup. They've got some local guys, Roanoke guys, Prince and Donahoe, who went to Lord Botetourt High School. Ball 4. Tapman has put Murphy on in 6 pitches. And we'll bring up Hector Orozco. First-year man hits .323. We saw him in one end of the doubleheader in the regular season. He did not play in Friday's game. We got to mention Lynchburg's Venezuelan tie-ins, the former assistant coaches, Gabe Garcia and Oscar Garcia. Hey, speaking of Venezuelans, did you see the long hitting streak for the Diamondbacks? Ildarmo Vargas came to an end. He went 4 for 4 on Friday to extend the hitting streak to 27 games, which broke the MLB record for longest from a Venezuelan native. But he went hitless yesterday, so Vargas's streak, unfortunately, is over. Both these teams have some guys with hitting streaks. Quinn Madden, longest for Lynchburg, 13-gamer. Madden's hit safely in 21 of 22. And it's an 8-game hitting streak for Nate Prince and also Danny Ferguson for Roanoke. Ferguson's in the hole right now. Jack Fellner on deck. The hitter is Hector Orozco, first-year right fielder from Venezuela. Murphy leading off at first, 6 for 8 stealing bases this year. Roanoke has swiped 86, Lynchburg 66. Those numbers up to date after Friday's activity. Tapman looking for a new baseball. It's 2-1 on the count. 1 out in the top of the second inning. Got our roll call coming up here in the middle of the frame. We've actually stuck to that schedule. I'm notoriously bad about having routines and keeping things the same, having a game plan, but we've stuck to that. Chopper, Moshier bobbled, recaptured, and got him. Wow, that was awfully close. Mosh with a good job to stick with that. The initial hop kind of bounced and ate him up on the belt line, but he knocked it down right in front of him and sort of continued with the momentum to gather and throw across the diamond, put it on target. 2 outs now. Murphy moves up to second, and it will bring up Jack Fellner. I think I made a boo-boo Friday. I said Fellner from Newburyport, Connecticut. It's Massachusetts. I was in the New England area, but it's Newburyport, Mass. for Jack Fellner. And we'll say hello again to anybody listening in New England and across the country, border to border, coast to coast. All the ships at sea can tune in to FloSports and Flo College to get the best action. We've seen a lot of the best here at Fox Field in Lynchburg this season. 0-1 to Fellner. Slider from Tapman stayed high, and now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Danny Ferguson is on deck now from Flemington, New Jersey. One on, 2 outs. Top 2. 3-0 ball game. Roanoke with a chance to strike, though. Half swing sword will get Fellner in a 1-2 hole now. Sunshine, brilliant blue sky to play under. Temperatures probably going to land somewhere around 60 for the high today. Warmer tomorrow and Tuesday, back over 80 Tuesday. We're not playing Tuesday. Another check swing. Did Fellner go? He did not, in accordance of the first base umpire. That Final Four in Tysons begins Thursday. And the winners of these opening round series will head up there, and that has been the host site for, this will be the 3rd season in Tysons at Capital One Park. Always fun at the Cap. Tapman will lift the leg and toss to Ben Jones, covering at second. That Capital One Park can really be a bandbox. That was the old term for a ballpark where the ball flew out, sort of smaller ballparks. You can see some home runs there at Capital One Park, especially when the weather conditions are conducive. Great action on that slider, but it's off the plate, and Fellner held up. Lynchburg played under rainy conditions our first year at Capital One Park there in Tysons. That was in 2024. Lynchburg played this Roanoke team a couple times in that postseason run. Slider, right side. Jack Pokerock is there. Tapman covering. Soft toss flip. And the play is completed. One runner on, one runner left stranded for the Roanoke Maroons in their half of the second. Let's stay here and start firing out some hellos. We've got our great friend Grayson Thurman, the All-American. He's in the house today, but he's left the press box. He's out there bantering and having a good time with all the fans, and always great to see the Thurminator, the Lemur, Turbo. He's a man of many, many nicknames, and they were all very good nicknames. We'll say hi to the Jones family, Dr. Jones, Jackie Jones, Lucas Jones, Carla, everybody that we know and love. We'll say hi to everybody up there in the Notre Dame crew. That's like Lynchburg North up there now with that Notre Dame crew. It's really cool what's going on up there. I know we got a lot of the Madden family in the house. Had a fun time meeting Priscilla the other day. I'm told Logan Tapman's dad has a birthday today, or maybe it's Grandma Tapman with the birthday today. I'm just not sure anymore, but there's a birthday in the Tapman family, so that's pretty cool stuff. Brady Moore, you got some family tuned in? Let's hope so. Maybe. And, of course, you can listen after the fact. So it's on demand with Flo, and we hope you are watching after the fact. We said that about the Fischel family and some that watch on the ride home, these folks that have long rides. Just make sure that you're buckled up and you're keeping your eyes on the road here while you're checking these games out. Hi to Sierra. She's the head of the Drew Henry fan club. Paul Garcia, Kim Garcia, the Jones family, all those other great Lynchburg alums, Nathaniel Mack, Avery Neves, Brandon Pond, Kelly McWilliams, Riley O'Donovan, Ryan Long, Jackson Harding. Jackson Harding makes it to a lot of ball games. Here's Gabriel Pegues, first-year DH, hitting .360 on the season. 9 hits, 7 singles, 2 bolts. He can leave the yard. This Lynchburg team has 48 home runs on the season now. Swing and a miss. Still Riley Fitzgerald from the Sunshine State of Florida pitching to Gabe Pegues. Got to say hi to my buddy Blake Trent, big baseball guy, big Brookville Bee baseball fan, and a big-time golfer as well. Topside fastball would not come down for a strike. Say hello again to the Thacker brothers and Thacker family. Brennan and Graham Thacker played their baseball at Roanoke College. And their father, Jim, just one of the all-time best high school coaches ever. Jim Thacker was a good player in his day as well, but probably known more for the coaching nowadays, especially around Central Virginia. Hi to the Watsons and the Lofmans and the Sabalis and the Clarks and the Sutsuis, the Flora family. Ben Jones' grandparents like to check in. Hey, speaking of bolts, hold on to your hats. Gabriel Pegues has left the building. Second home run of the afternoon for Lynchburg. This is a solo shot for Gabe Pegues. 10th hit of the season. 3 of them are home runs. Power numbers continue to boggle the mind, and I actually misspoke earlier. With Jack's and now Gabe's, it's 50 home runs on the year now for Lynchburg. 50 is nifty. The baseball bashment party continues here on Fox. 2 home runs in the ball game now for Lynchburg. 4-0 is the lead. Well, let's just go ahead and say hi to Gabe Pegues, watching that one in the future. That's a swing that he is going to like. That's a swing you can put on your greatest hits tape and watch that over and over to build confidence. Kyle Moshier going to try for the base hit bunt. Down the line, and it's perfect. That ball had some spin. It landed about 5 feet off the line. The spin took it to about 8 inches in front or inside of the boundary. What a beautiful play right there from Kyle Moshier. Bunt single, hit number 5 in the ball game. And the hits keep coming with Brandon Garcia now. Back to the top of the order for Lynchburg. Nathaniel Mack has checked in. He is watching it live, my friends. Mighty Mac, hope you're doing great. Can't wait to see you sometime soon. Brandon Garcia, base hit bunt time. Left side, third baseman will take it. Stumbled a bit over his own pitcher and threw it away. Moshier taking the turn. He'll get a stop sign at third. Brandon Garcia will cruise into second base. It's probably another hit and error. We've seen a lot of these lately where we have to call the initial bunt a hit because you can't assume they would have gotten Brandon Garcia at first. But then the error to give he and Kyle Moshier an extra base. 6 hits in the ball game now for Lynchburg. Think about this again with Lynchburg. Small ball and long ball, inside and outside baseball. 2 bunt singles, but also 2 home runs. Oh, and 2 doubles as well. Infield's in against Ben Jones. Torn into right field, and Ben Jones has tied for the program lead with that base hit. And it's an RBI single to score Kyle Moshier. Ben Jones is 2 for 2. Now in his career, it's 228 hits. That ties him for the all-time Lynchburg lead with Gavin Collins. And the lead is growing for Lynchburg. The lead is growing. 5-0 is the advantage now. Pegues and Moshier have scored in this inning. Runners at the corners. Roanoke is in trouble. Maroons are behind the 8 ball in a must-win game for them. It's not must-win for Lynchburg. In a couple senses of the word, Lynchburg, as we've said, with their NPI, is virtually assured an NCAA regional appearance, rather. So it's not must-win from that standpoint, but also it's a best 2 out of 3 series. So Lynchburg, if they don't win here, we've still got game 3. Mound visit, I'll give you some notes about closeout games. That's the term when you can end somebody else's season or end them from a tournament. Talk about closeout games. These are fun in the NBA. I'm trying to get DeMont's attention. By the way, shout out to our producer, Big D, DeMont. Tatum is out on the camera again, and the entire LHSN crew is very, very strong today. We'll get a pitching change. So let me go back to these closeout game numbers for Lynchburg. In closeout games last year, they were 3-1. So they beat Ferrum in this opening round. Actually lost one to Randolph-Macon where they could have closed out the ODAC Final Four, then beat Macon, so a closeout there. Then they also beat Emory to end the Emory Eagles season. So 3-1 in closeout games last year. In 2024, Lynchburg was 4-2 in closeout games. And if you go back to 2023, they were 6-2 in closeout games. Now this is an elimination game for Roanoke. They were 0-1 in elimination games last year, losing in straight sets to Shenandoah in the first round. Pitching change for Roanoke will happen here with 2 on and none out. The new pitcher will be number 21, Chase Booth. It's Chase Booth on to face Jack Pokerock. Still none gone in the bottom of the second inning. Runners on first and third. For Chase Booth, he's 4-3 this season with 1 save. Mostly starting, but based on that save number, you know he's done a little bit of relieving. This looks like bullpen appearance number 3 for Chase Booth. The earned run average is 4.57. He struck out 37 and walked 33. We saw Chase Booth start a ball game against Lynchburg in the regular season. Booth is the man from just outside Columbus, Ohio. He's a noted Cincinnati Reds fan. Those Cincinnati Redlegs are having an outstanding year. Did not have great results yesterday. We will include that in our baseball news, notes, and nuggets segment that happens in the middle of the third. But for Chase Booth, he last pitched against Virginia Wesleyan over the weekend, April 26th. 3 2/3 innings there. He gave up 1 earned run. Go back to the Lynchburg start. That was on March 29th. It was 2 1/3. Only gave up 2 earned runs. There was 5 walks. I think that was really what doomed Chase Booth in that ball game. On the season, he really has been, I think, at times unhittable, but the location can be problematic for Booth with 33 walks. It's 37 strikeouts. Look at the batting average against. That's only 248. That tells you he's got really good stuff. This is his first year pitching for Roanoke. Jack Pokerock, all he's done is gone 1 for 1 in this ball game. Home run number 14 of the season. And it's Ribby's 72 and 73. Jack had 2 hits on Fridays. He continues his assault up all these single-season leaderboards here at the University of Lynchburg. He's already the single-season record holder in RBI. Booth is set at the letters. Looks in. Now legs the 0-0 home. At the bat off Jack's shoulder, they're going to call that strike 1. Quinn Madden is on deck. He flew out to center field his first time up. 2 hits already in this ball game for Ben Jones. And 6 in the lineup for Lynchburg already have hits. This one foul tipped and sent backwards. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes. 8-9-1 due up for Roanoke. The top of the third. They got to get there first, though. There's still nobody away in the Lynchburg half of the second. Middle at double play depth. Corners are in for Roanoke. Here comes the 0-2. Punched skyward to the back of the infield, just in shallow left, and that ball will drop. They'll throw to second to get Ben Jones. Ben Jones had to hold in case they caught it, but that ball falls, and Brandon Garcia scores. Lynchburg leading now 6-0. That'll be an interesting scoring conundrum. The sun clearly bothering the second baseman, Noah Donahoe. He never touched it, but that's not exactly the only standard that the official score will go by as to whether it's a hit or an error. I think most baseball people will tell you the ball should be caught. There is a lot of blue sky, high sunshine, and you could tell the elements really bothered Noah Donahoe there. 1 out now as they did throw to second. It's not going to be a hit. It's not going to be a hit because they got an out at second. It's actually just a fielder's choice is what it is. Fielder's choice, 4-6 is the call. There is some wiggle room where you can give an error on a fielder's choice, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. We'll see. Check that live score, fans, lynchburgsports.com. And make sure you're following along the Hornets social media. Had some great visuals from Friday's affair. And it's just always top-level content when you're talking about Lynchburg Hornets social media. Quinn Madden's the hitter, 0 for 1 today, 3 hits on Friday. It builds Madden's hit streak up to 13 games. In that 13-gamer, he's had 7 multi-hit games. He's had 2 2-hit games, 4 3-hit games, and 1 4-hit game in that 13-game hitting streak for Quinn Madden. 2 strikes now, though. Fouling it back in our direction. Quinn Madden with hits in 21 of his last 22. So much of the spotlight has been given to the Pokey Palooza, either Jack Pokerock or Sean Pokerock. They've gotten a lot of the spotlight. The Batman and Robin combo, Brandon Garcia, Ben Jones, get a lot of the spotlight. Ooh, spiked there, and that'll allow Jack Pokerock to get to second. Quinn Madden this season feels almost like he hasn't been in the spotlight that much, even though he's deserved it. He's had a fantastic year. 3rd highest average on the team at 374. He's driven in 46. That's 3rd on the team as well. And a 13-game hitting streak right now. on in 22 straight ball games, meaning he's reached base either via a hit, walk, or hit by pitch. Those are the ways you get those reached base streaks. The 2-2. Madden's under that. We'll rerun it at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, runner on second. 3 for 5 on Friday for Quinn Madden. Grad man from Burke, Virginia. He's an outdoorsman as well. Loves being in the woods and on the water. Loves being on the ball field here at Fox. A couple seasons ago, he said he really finally found a home here. Ooh, inside, he had to dodge that. Now our count is full with Joe Munitz on deck. Quinn Madden back in 2024, speaking of postseason campaigners, actually ended that postseason on a 5-game hit streak. Had hits in every game up at East Lake, Ohio, in the College World Series that year. Booth missed high. Madden is on. He'll extend that reached base streak. He'll have to wait on trying to extend the hit streak. Now it's Joe Munitz, who doubled down the right field line his first time up. A little bit of a soft serve double. It was one that he did not really get on the barrel, but the good swing plane, the good technique, some strength allowed him to just kind of push it down the right field line, and his speed got him into second with a double. Second walk of the ball game for Roanoke pitchers, first one Booth has offered. Munitz is the third batter that he's facing. Joe's going to try to put down a bunt, and that's foul. Joe was 1 for 4 on Friday against Roanoke. Junior hits .339 now on the season. He's got 2 on, 1 out. Just the bottom of the second inning. Lynchburg offense right on track to score a lot of runs again. They lead 6-0 in 1 1/3 inning of work. Lynchburg has just been pumping out the runs this year, sacking pitchers left and right. Lynchburg offensively, they average 11.5 runs per game, over that actually. They have not been shut out this season, the Lynchburg offense. On the edge there, nice location from Chase Booth. Lynchburg in the 22-game win streak. We had the fantastic number of 16 times that they scored double-digit runs. Did it 11 in a row at one point. Had 9 run rule victories in a row at one point. Some close wins in that long streak as well. This one bounces past the catcher. Umpire took a stray there, and the catcher, Danny Ferguson, will check with him and make sure he's okay. Runners do advance 90 feet, though, and the Roanoke infield's coming in. Everybody's got their feet on the grass to start this pitch here. 1 and 2 on the way to Joe Munitz with Sean Pokerock on deck. Outfield deep in center, a little bit tighter in left and right. Munitz under this. We'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Sunday, May the 3rd, first weekend in May, postseason baseball for the Division IIIs. I think some teams are still in their regular season. Some conferences, that is. Roundhouse curveball caught the top rail, and it's strike 3 on Joe Munitz. First time a Lynchburg hitter has struck out today. It'll bring up Sean Pokerock. Sean, 10 for 13 coming into the ball game. That means he's 10 for his last 14. Sean has hit safely in 9 of his last 10. Sean's average is at .436 this year. So once again, about spotlights and having to share it. You always have to do that in any team setting, I think. Sean has had to share the spotlight some with his brother Jack. But both of these guys seem to have made themselves even better playing together for their first year, in college anyway. Sean, on this one, sends it to center field. Should be catchable. And Nate Prince will bring it home for the final out in the bottom of the second inning. Lynchburg scores 3 again. They double the lead. Hornets 6, Roanoke 0 after 2 complete in ODAC first round action. Logan Tapman and the Lynchburg defense is ready for the top of the third. It'll be Danny Ferguson to lead it off for Roanoke. Maroons in a 6-0 hole. There's time, but this is a Lynchburg team that has been notoriously hard to come back on. Lynchburg good really in every phase of the game and in every part of the game. The early innings, the middle innings, late innings. Lynchburg bullpen has been solid this season. Roanoke, last game, Friday, they scored, we'll say, 3 runs in the early phase, 1-2, innings 1, 2, and 3. 3 runs there, 1 run in the 4th, nothing in the 5th and the 6th, and then put up 2 more in the 8th. So this is a Roanoke team that will keep fighting. They will keep swinging. They're very talented and young, as we've pointed out multiple times. Here's Danny Ferguson comes in riding an 8-game hitting streak, 1 for 3 on Friday. Kyle Moshier, third baseman, pulled way off the line there, even with the bag. Lynchburg infield around to the right, outfield shallow, especially in center. Sort of an interesting, almost looks like a V here in the Lynchburg outfield. Madden is shallow in center. Munitz and Flora are a little bit deeper in left and right, although I see Munitz kind of creeping in here. Lynchburg's so good with the scouting reports, knowing players' tendencies, know where they are likely to hit the ball. Can't take away everything. Ground ball down the line. Jack Pokerock will move to his glove side and then handle things himself, tapping the bag with his left foot. That's the first out in the top of the third. Dylan Bonzen, the man from Toronto, Canada. Say hi to anybody and hopefully everybody listening north of the border. We were chatting with Lynchburg great former Lynchburg pitcher Grayson Thurman, who played for the Vancouver Canadians for a bit in his minor league career, as Bonzen shows bunt and pulls it back. It's ball 1. And Vancouver is the only team in the MLB minor league system north of the border in Canada. So that's cool. And Grayson talked about all the great support that they got up there. The Canadians really love their baseball. They love their sports in general. I think, hockey, everybody knows that, or anybody that's paid attention to sports knows hockey, massive up there in Canada. Did you know lacrosse is actually their national sport, though, which is kind of an interesting tidbit. It's not hockey. 2 hoppers sharply to Brandon Garcia. He'll gather load and fire, getting Bonzen by a step and a half. And we'll talk more about Toronto and Canada when he comes back again. There's 2 down in the top of the third inning. It's the leadoff hitter, Nate Prince. He struck out his first time up. Tapman cruising right along here. His team has backed him to a 6-run advantage. Missing inside, that nearly grazed the jersey of Nate Prince. Senior, Roanoke, Virginia, Lord Botetourt High School. He and Donahoe went to Lord Botetourt. Our great pal, Evan Gates, a Lord Botetourt alum. And he does some broadcasting with us here at Lynchburg and so much more. I think many of our Lynchburg fans would remember Evan Gates, and probably a chance we're going to get to hear Gates again. I think if Lynchburg hosts regional play, you got a lot of games to cover in a short amount of time. We may need some extra broadcasters. Plus, we just like getting Evan Gates on, so that's a reason to do that as well. 1-2's the count now on Nate Prince. Hit .320 last year, average right now at .381 after a 2-for-5 day on Friday. The 1-2 slider, got him. Logan Tapman is cooking again. He has struck out 3, and he sent back the Roanoke side in order again in the top of the 3rd inning. Kyle Haney spending a Sunday with you. We'll get into our news, notes, and nuggets segment here. This is May the 3rd, day 123 of the year. 123, 123rd day of the year. We have on this date birthdays. The legendary boxer Sugar Ray Robinson, born on this date. Born in Georgia, grew up in New York City. Sugar Ray Robinson thought to be one of the best ever, if not the best. Pound for pound, 174 victories for Sugar Ray Robinson. The music legend James Brown, born on this date. Mr. Dynamite himself, James Brown, the hardest working man in show business. Augusta, Georgia. Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, born in Newark, New Jersey. Frankie Valli's still alive. He was born 1934. The golfer Brooks Koepka, born on this date, 5-time major winner. Baseball, Joe DiMaggio, Jolton Joe, makes his debut. The highly regarded 21-year-old had a foot injury, so he didn't make his debut until May of 1936, but as you might expect, right on brand, Joe picked up 3 hits in his first ever ball game. Willie McCovey hit his 521st home run on this date. That would be his final. That came back in 1980. Johnny Bench always would say that Willie McCovey was the toughest guy to pitch to and call pitches to. 2011 Twins pitcher Francisco Liriano twirls a no-hitter. Had some great baseball last night. Chase Booth, the pitcher, his Red Legs tied an unfortunate Major League Baseball record yesterday. They walked 7 consecutive batters, lost 17-7 to the Pirates. Pirates also had a nugget in there where everybody in the lineup had an RBI yesterday for the Pirates. The White Sox actually have the longest win streak in the American League right now. Who would have thought that? Won their 5th in a row yesterday. Kyle Flora just blitzing the second pitch of the at-bat and sending that to the fence. Extra bases for Flo. And Lynchburg's baseball bashment party continues. That ball was hit really hard by Flo. 2 for 4 on Friday. And he's got a double for Lynchburg. That is the 3rd double of the ball game and their 5th extra base hit. And it is total hit number 8. Pinch hitter time, it's Ryder Warren. But we know Travis Beasley likes to plug and play. He really values the right-left matchup, pitching and hitting. So Gabriel Pegues, here's a fun one, a nugget for the stat heads. Gabe Pegues is going to end his day 1 for 1 with a home run. Can you believe it? Ryder Warren is in there now. He'll take a called strike 1 on the hard fastball from Chase Booth. Ryder Warren did not play Friday. Has been outstanding this season, though. Ryder Warren, 5 home runs. Waiting on the 0-1. Corners are in for Roanoke. If you're Roanoke, you do have to honor the sacrifice bunt, but that's not the reason for the pinch hit right here. Ryder Warren is in to try to get an extra base hit himself. Not that Ryder can't bunt. But Lynchburg's looking for power here and looking for the left-hander against the righty pitcher. Booth won't come home yet. That one hit Flo as he slid back head first. Got him in the upper thigh or hip right there. Ryder Warren, 303 is the average. 10 hits, 33 at bats. 7 extra base hits. Think about that. He's only had 3 singles. 2 doubles, 5 home runs, 3 singles for Ryder Warren. Did he get another one? Did he do it right on cue? I don't know if this has got enough, but it's going to be extra bases, though. 1 bounce into the fence. Warren's got a double. He'll stay there. Flora comes home. Back-to-back doubles for Lynchburg. And they really are bashing it around right now. I mean, they really are knocking the ball around the park right now. They've sent 2 over the fence, and they've sent 4 to the fences. This is impressive. It's wild to think that we can still be impressed with what Lynchburg has done already this season, but I am. 4th double. 6th extra base hit. This is the bottom of the 3rd inning, by the way. Mo Shear got a bunt single last time up. That was an absolute beaut down the 3rd base line. He tries to bunt there and fouls it away. This is really impressive what Lynchburg is doing in this one. 4 doubles gets them up to 86 on the year. 50 home runs. Mo Shear, more of a sacrifice bunt concept that time. He got it out early. He'll watch that one catch the outer black for a called strike 2. Booth comes home with the 0-2. High and wide for ball 1. Lynchburg up to 152 extra base hits on the year. Doubles, triples, home runs. For reference, Roanoke has 112. Solid numbers for the Maroons. I mean, they really are. Lynchburg's offense has just been a cut above this season. Mosh waiting on the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him there for the first out in the inning. Flora doubled and scored. Ryder Warren pinch hit. RBI double. He's at second right now, and here comes the top of the order. It's Brandon Garcia. It's the 3rd plate appearance for Garcia, and we're in the top of the 3rd inning. Corners are going to come in. Garcia got a bunt single last time. Walked his first time up, so he's 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored. Brandon Garcia continues marching up that all-time hits leaderboard as well. Got to make sure we don't lose sight of that. We've got Ben Jones, who's on deck. He has a chance to make himself the all-time career leader in base hits for Lynchburg. But Brandon Garcia is not far behind at all. That one missed. And now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon Garcia had 2 hits on Friday. He has 1 today. He should be up to 223 lifetime here at Lynchburg. Ben Jones and Gavin Collins both have 228. Off the plate for ball 2. 7-0 is the lead. Lynchburg can say they have scored in every inning. They can say their leadoff runner has been on in every inning so far. Just 1 base runner total so far for Roanoke. Liam Murphy walked in the 2nd. The 2-1 from Booth. Holding. Keeping an eye on Ryder Warren. Umpire will call a pitch timer violation. That is a ball added to the count. And now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Certainly felt like Booth was holding for a while. Saw Roanoke seemingly get close and flirt with a couple pitch timer violations. More on that after this 3-1 delivery from Chase Booth. Garcia fouls it away. So in professional baseball, in Division I baseball, the pitch clock is visible. And you have multiple pitch clocks, actually. There's supposed to be one that the batter and the pitcher can see. That has been a complaint with some folks, fans, players, coaches at the D3 level is we've got a pitch clock, but it's not visible. The umpire is keeping it. 3-2. Drilled up the middle from Brandon Garcia. That's a base hit. Ryder Warren will get the wave around. Ooh, strong throw, uncorked by Nate Prince, but it's off target. That allows Brandon Garcia to take an extra bag with some good running there. RBI single from Brandon Garcia scores Ryder Warren. Lynchburg leads 8-0. Here comes Ben Jones now with a chance to make some history and maybe throw the knockout punch here. I know Lynchburg's up 8-0. We're in the bottom of the third. Another extra base hit here might really feel like the knockout. Ben Jones has one of the 4 Lynchburg doubles. 6 extra base hits. Lynchburg's up to 10 knocks total as a team. The sharp single from Brandon Garcia didn't really allow me to complete the thought about the pitch clock. But I think there's some legitimate beef to that argument from folks around Division III baseball in that if we're going to have a pitch timer, it probably should be visible. Now, there's a cost associated with those, and then somebody's got to run the thing as well, almost like in football and basketball where you have shot clock operators. You know, that's an extra piece that gets added to the puzzle, and sometimes that's not exactly feasible at the Division III level. Booth is going to toss that one into center field. He had the arms extended, clearly thinking that Fellner should have made the grab. That was the body language indicator anyway. But Brandon Garcia, more good base running, pressuring defenses. Back to this Lynchburg offense. They just pressure you in so many different ways. They can hit the ball to the fence. They can hit the ball over the fence. They can bunt. They can run the bases. They can take walks. We know Lynchburg best in the country at drawing walks. 2 today. Roanoke pitchers have done a nice job keeping it in the zone, but that's back to pick your poison. Are you going to throw strikes and get hit around, or are you going to try to nibble edges and throw to shadows and give up some walks? It's a really tough proposition for any team, and let's face it, there's only really 5 teams that have been able to figure out that proposition against Lynchburg this year. Lynchburg with 4 losses and 1 tie. Now, some of the teams that have lost to Lynchburg have played better than others, certainly. Don't want to oversimplify it. Infield's coming in again for Roanoke. Outfield basically straight away normal depth. Ben Jones, 2 for 2. 228 career hits. Next one gets him the all-time program career record. Not going to have a chance to do it on that one. That stayed at the eye line for ball 2. Jack Pokerock is on deck. Jack's got a home run and hit that high pop-up that turned into a fielder's choice. This is the 9th hitter Booth has faced. Another one that would not come down to the strike zone, and now it's 3-1. Hard to move a team batting average with this many sample inputs at this time of the year, but Lynchburg's team average might actually go up a little bit. Came in at 348. Benny thought about that, but held up on a blazing fastball, lower thigh, and now the count is full. 348, the team average for Lynchburg coming into this ball game. They actually raised it a bit after Friday. Swing and a miss. Booth went off speed. He got his man. Ben Jones down on strikes, and it will bring up Jack Pokerock with 2 down. Consider the fact that Booth has struck out 3. Only walked 1. We said that was one of his hang-ups, control. When he's pitching in and around the zone, he really has swing and miss stuff, and we saw that right there. Not easy to get Ben Jones to take a swing and come up with only air. Jack Pokerock got a piece of that one fouled down. That caught some, I think maybe of the inner thigh from Danny Ferguson. Ferguson impressed us as the backstop on Friday, same way in the regular season meetings. Sean Pokerock has been outstanding with the catching for Lynchburg. Here's his brother Jack. 0-1. Sliders off. Brandon Garcia, dangerous, bouncing at third. He'll be a candidate to score on any ball that Danny Ferguson does not catch cleanly. 1 on, 2 out. Bottom 3. Pokey was on that breaking ball, but it's foul into Wake Fieldhouse. Good crowd at the ballpark today. Sunshine, blue skies, cooler temps. We got a little bit fooled early April. We had some 90-plus temperatures, but pretty typical spring weather for the rest of the month and into early May, maybe cooler than average. The 1-2 upstairs. They're going to try to pick on Brandon Garcia, and they've got him hung up in the rundown. Garcia avoids the first tag and throw. He'll reroute. I think he went out of the baseline. He did. Umpires agreed. Can't really fault Brandon Garcia there. You got to take a chance, but he did vacate the 3-foot lane, and that's how the third inning will come to an end. Jack Pokerock will lead off the bottom of the fourth for Lynchburg. Hornets extend the lead 8-0. They're on top of Roanoke. Line score for Lynchburg looking really good. 8 runs, 10 hits, 6 extra base hits, a couple punt singles for Lynchburg. They've made no defensive errors. Hornets have only stranded 2 so far. Part of that was Brandon Garcia getting picked off. Just 1 base runner for Roanoke so far. They have not scored. Liam Murphy walked in the second inning. It's Donahoe, Giordano, and Hetzel due up in the top of the fourth. Time for Roanoke to get busy if they are entertaining comeback thoughts, and this is a must-win game for Roanoke. Their season ends here if they do not win 2 today. 2-3-4. Donahoe grounded out to first. He's the first-year man, and he'll get the first hit of the ball game for Roanoke. Tapman, 3 innings of no-hit ball, pitching great. Donahoe gets the barrel to one and yanks it into left field for the initial Roanoke base hit. He's aboard for Hayden Giordano. Grounded to short. Great play Brandon Garcia made to end the first inning. Backhanding in the hole, throwing on the run. It wasn't the classic jump throw, the Derek Jeter style throw. It was more of a run and throw from Brandon Garcia on that one. It was outstanding, though. Giordano with a piece of that. Foul ball, 0-1. Giordano comes in at .321, 18 hits this year. 4 of those are home runs. Lynchburg has homered twice in the ball game. Jack Pokerock, 2-run shot. Gabe Pegues, solo blast. 6 extra base hits for Lynchburg. It's 4 doubles to go along with the bashment that's going on right now. 50 home runs for Lynchburg. Still just in awe of that. They were not the country's leader in home runs. Didn't have the most in D3 baseball coming into this series. But that can change, especially when you hit multiple in a game like this. We'll get some statistical rundowns and nuggets and things going on, which we kind of do all game long anyway. There's the hard fastball from Tapman. That's a dot on the outer third. He's ahead against Hayden Giordano. Michael Hetzel is on deck. Double play depth for Lynchburg. Outfield sort of shifted over to the right, especially Quinn Madden. He's set up in that right center gap. This one hit left side. That's through the hole on the ground. Back-to-back singles for Roanoke. no hits through their first 10 plate appearances, but now it's back-to-back knocks, and maybe the Maroons are starting to get busy here. There's the Frosh from New Kent, Virginia, Michael Hetzel. Over 400 on the season now after Friday's action, went 2 for 2 there. He was at 397 before that game, but it's 2 for 2 with 2 walks and a sac fly on Friday for Michael Hetzel. Really just a perfect afternoon. Struck out looking against Logan Tapman in this ball game. Hetzel and Donahoe hitting back-to-back in the lineup on Friday. This time they're separated by 1 batter, but these were 2 of the guys that really made me get on that kick about I think it's a Roanoke team that could be really, really good if you can keep this group together, keep them organized, keep them motivated. Hetzel's way out in front, yanking that one off the screen that's in front of the visitors' dugout. That's so much of what coaching is as well. It is technique. It is teaching your players the game. It is the game planning with the scouting reports. But it's also motivating players in the offseason. That can be difficult. Motivation in season as well. They're playing Hetzel to pull. The 1-1. Fantastic location there from Logan Tapman. You can see some frustration from Hetzel. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. But all those things in coaching are so important, and they're great separators. That just the recruiting as well. But how do you motivate players in the offseason? How do you keep them together? Keep them working on their game. Keep the collective unit working on its game. That one under the hands of Hetzel. It'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at the Lynchburg coaching staff, I think they're pretty elite in all those areas. Travis Beasley might disagree. He might say, no, we need to get better at the 7th thing you mentioned in that list you gave. That's possible. Ground ball, Lynchburg had shifted Hetzel around to the right, so that one's through for a base hit. How about 3 consecutive singles for Roanoke? And the visitors are on the board. Noah Donahoe comes around to score. Michael Hetzel with the RBI single. Continues to produce good numbers against Lynchburg. And now our score is 8-1. Threat still on in the top of the 4th. Liam Murphy walked his first time up. Before this inning, he was the only base runner that Logan Tapman had allowed.
27, Liam Murphy.
Let's go for some national ranks here during this mound visit. Lynchburg, top 10 offensively in base on balls, batting average. Top 10 in on-base percentage. Top 10 in the country in runs scored. Top 10 in sacrifice flies. Top 10 in slugging percentage. There's no holes in this Lynchburg offense. I mean, there really isn't. Let's go pitching now. It's an ERA, an earned run average that is in the top 10 in the country. Hits allowed per 9. They're just outside the top 10, but they are first in ODAC rankings in that number. What else? Top 10 in shutouts. Top 10 in K to walk ratio. K per 9. Lynchburg is best in the ODAC, 26th in the country. And what about gloving it? Lynchburg's got a fielding percentage that is in the top 10 in Division III baseball. It's a complete team. It really is. If you're the manager, Travis Beasley, you're thinking, well, it's never enough. We got to be even better. We have to be sharper. And that's part of the reason why those great teams continue to be great and elite. They have a higher standard than the broadcaster does. 0-1. Tapman misses there to Liam Murphy. 300 on the season exactly coming into this ball game for Murph. Hector Orozco is on deck. I think even the folks like me would say you still have to keep working. It's not like you just cancel practice the rest of the year. You want to continue to get better or at least maintain your excellence. That one got by the first base coach and Jack Pokerock. Now, JP on the foul ball chopper is going to say, well, I was screened off by their coach. That's why I missed it. And their coach, I don't know what his excuse will be. Maybe there won't be one. But it's right now a 2-strike count on Liam Murphy. Tapman has struck out 4, came in with 61 punches this year. Logan Tapman has a no-hitter on his resume now. It came against Hampton-Sydney, midweek conference game. Their strikeout number 4 of the game. That's a big one because he hadn't retired anybody in the 4th yet. It'll bring up Hector Orozco. Now Lynchburg's just one pitch away, maybe double play to get out of the inning. Orozco, 5-3 last time. That was a ball that Moshier had to move to the middle, his glove side, bobbled, but actually recovered in time to throw out Hector Orozco. Brady Moore, Director of Baseball Analytics and also Director of Brady Moore. He made a great point about Logan Tapman. He's wearing that number 24 jersey that was worn previously by Grayson Thurman. When you're stepping into the threads that an All-American wore, there can be some high expectations. I think Logan Tapman has delivered. In his career, he's 15-3 with 2 saves. Gets a called strike there to even the count up at 1-1. Tapman has a career earned run average of 3.32. Really outstanding. 164 Ks in his career now to only 65 walks. So almost 100 more on the good side. Tapman's going to spin and toss one to second. Lynchburg bullpen has fired up. I think everybody has a green light to throw again today that pitched on Friday, barring the starter, Tyler Kaltrider. He will not be available today. But I think everybody else good to go for Travis Beasley and Michael Solbach, the pitching coach. Slider hit hard. Garcia's got it. There's 1 and now 2. It's tic-tac-toe around the diamond for Lynchburg to erase a threat in the top of the 4th. Roanoke does get on the board. Noah Donahoe singled and scored on Michael Hetzel's RBI hit. And we'll move to the home half of the 4th inning. See if Lynchburg can continue scoring. Hornets on top by 7. New arm on the mound for the Roanoke Maroons. It'll be number 31, replacing number 21. This is Isaac Brooks on for Chase Booth. Brooks, 7.20 is the earned run average. 1-1 win-loss record with 1 save. This will be appearance number 17 on the season for Isaac Brooks. That is the team lead. So, insert my line about premier bullpen option, because I think Isaac Brooks is just that. He'll be on to face Jack Pokerock. Jack has now faced all 3 of the Roanoke pitchers. He homered off Riley Fitzgerald his first time up. Popped up the first time against Chase Booth and then was actually hitting, but then Brandon Garcia was erased on the pickoff and ensuing rundown. First pitch is a ball from Isaac Brooks. So he's the 3rd pitcher that Roanoke has used. Isaac Brooks is a senior from Glen Allen, Virginia. This ball's hit well to right field, but this is going to stay in the ballpark. Challenging play for Orozco. He'll end up completing it, moving on to the warning track. And it's an F9 fly out for Jack Pokerock. Here's Quinn Madden. Hit streak on the line. He did extend his reached base streak. Madden is 0 for 1 with a walk. Joe Munitz on deck is 1 for 2 with a double. Logan Tapman, Shuddy is gone. A reminder, the kids are just saying Shuddy now instead of shutout. Who has time to say shutout? So they just shorten that, but it's kind of fun. So the shutout is gone for Logan Tapman, but I think still in pretty good shape. He did surrender 3 consecutive singles. That won't make him particularly happy. But get some help from the defense there with the old 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. For Lynchburg, that's team double play number 26 of the season. So much fun. Lucas Jones called those the home run of defense. His ball's hit well down the line. Hit streak extender for Quinn Madden. It'll be another double for Lynchburg. Madden will hold there. Stand-up double. Speaking of power to all fields, that ball was hit well down the right field line. Double number 5, extra base hit number 7, and total hit number 11 of the ball game. Man, it's fun. It's fun to rattle off those numbers when you're getting a lot of them. You got to think, Roanoke had 2 extra base hits on Friday. Lynchburg had 4. 17 hits, 4 extra base hits. That means 13 singles. But right now, they have more extra base hits than singles. It's just 4 singles right now for Lynchburg. 1 ball, no strikes as Brooks misses to Joe Munitz. 3:39 coming into the ball game. Joe's got hits in both games of this series. Munitz has got 2 hits in this ball game. Yeah, that's down for a base hit. Madden around third. No play at the plate this time. Fantastic wheels from Quinn Madden. That ball was hit well from Joe Munitz. Multi-hit game for Jolton Joe. That's a single. 12 knocks in the ball game for Lynchburg as a team. The hits really do just keep on coming. For Joe Munitz, career multi-hit game number 38. Joe had an 18-game hitting streak that was snapped, but he might be building anew. He is so consistent. Here's Sean Pokerot. A rare 0 for 2 day right now for Sean. We hadn't been able to say that in the better part of 3 weeks. 0-1 as the first pitch is a called strike to Sean Pokerot. If you look at the 6-game stretch now, he's still 10 for his last 15, which looks pretty good. But 0 for 2 today. Brooks working the inside corner, 0-2. Kyle Flora is on deck. Flo's hit the ball hard twice. He doubled, and then he actually hit the ball off his own teammate. That was the one that Joe Munitz couldn't avoid. He was out on the runner interference. Nice action on that one from Brooks. He got Sean Pokerot to really dip the shoulders and think about chasing that, but Sean did not cast the lure. So now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Great balance at the plate from Sean Pokerot. We were talking about batting stances and form. Kind of fisted to third base. 5, 4, 3. Double play for Roanoke. Maroons are starting to get back in business here. They allow a couple base hits and 1 run, but I think some momentum there for Roanoke on the double play. Lynchburg does extend the lead. They're back on top 8. Hornets 9, Maroons 1 at Fox Field in Lynchburg. Both defenses end the 4th inning with double plays. It was 6-4-3 for Lynchburg. in the Roanoke half of the fourth. And then the Maroons turned around with a little 5-4-3. Lynchburg did score. Roanoke did score. So both teams with one run in the fourth. Lynchburg has scored in every inning. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, a deuce in the third, and then 1 in the fourth. Roanoke was getting no hit through the first 3 innings of the ball game, but they are on the board now. The second season, it's game 2 of our second season. It's the bell ringing season if you're Lynchburg. That's the tradition here on campus for all the sports teams to ring the bell when they get a championship. And that's got a great history, great tradition back in the olden days before we had social media and all those other things. That was part of the tradition where you would let everybody on campus know that you got a championship. You would ring the bell. And, you know, some teams like the Chicago Cubs have a kind of a similar tradition where they raise a win flag on the days that they win, and that would let the neighborhood know that the Cubs won that day. You got ballparks like Wrigley in Chicago and Fenway Park, similar in Boston, where they're in neighborhoods. So it was a cool element. You could just be walking home or driving home and look over the stadium and see the win flag flying. Chicago still does that. See that win flag flying, that's how you would know that your ball club won that day. And, of course, at Wrigley, they also do the fun tradition. The hitter is Jack Fellner, by the way, who grounded out his first time up. Wrigley has the fun tradition with the pennant flags. So the division standings, they order the flags by the division standings. So you would know if the Cubs were at the bottom of those flags that they weren't having a great year. And if the Cubs were at the top, you would know they were leading the division at that point. So love those fun old school traditions. Jack Fellner going to bust one up the middle. That's hit number 4 of the ball game. Roanoke seems to be getting a little bit of a bead on Logan Tapman here. All singles. Tapman throughout his career has been excellent about keeping the ball down and not giving up extra base hits. But Fellner will scratch out a single, and it'll bring up Danny Ferguson. Sophomore from Flemington, New Jersey, grounded out to first. 1 hit back on Friday. But that's one of the great elements to baseball is those traditions, and you got an attachment to those traditions. Some of them are more fun than others, and some of them don't make it to 2026, and you get to start new traditions as well. That's the other great part. You're a part of history, but you're also making and watching history every single day. That one just missed. Logan Tapman thought he had a good location there on the second pitch of the at-bat, but it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan Bonson is on deck. Infield kind of tight, double play depth. Ferguson fouls this one off of himself. It's 1-2. Well, other sports certainly have traditions. Baseball seems to have a bit more, maybe partly because it's been going on for such a long time and being played at a high level for a very long time. You got to think Major League Baseball has been around significantly longer than, say, the NFL or the NBA. But they have their own traditions, and those are great. Tapman's wide left from our perspective, wide right from his, and it's a level count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fellner on first. Roanoke down 9-1. Running game might be turned off, but you never know. Fellner is 5 for 6, stealing bags this year. Count runs full. Tapman getting support from the bench and the other players. Hands pounding gloves, everybody giving him the let's go call. This one sprayed. Moshe's got it. Double play chance here, and they did get him at first. What a fantastic play by Kyle Moshier. It was a soft liner from Danny Ferguson. Moshe had to backhand it, and all in one motion, he uncorked over to first to get Fellner before he could get back in time. Nice double play there for Lynchburg. Not exactly conventional, but 5-3 in the scorebook to get a pair of outs, and now it'll bring up Dylan Bonson. Hitting with the bases clear and 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Dylan Bonson, Toronto, Canada. You know, what about Canadian traditions and fun little quirks they've got those ketchup chips. Have you heard about this, folks? That in Canada, they like these Lay's flavored ketchup chips. It's a ketchup flavored potato chip. And they say it's a bit of an acquired taste. I've heard some Canadians say you got to have more than one bag. You're not going to like it initially. They say most Americans don't love it initially. But it's supposed to be really good. 1-1. Check swing. Did Bonzen go? Yes, home plate umpire called the strike. So ketchup chips. And apparently in places like Buffalo, Detroit, Michigan, some of those places that are very close to a Canadian border, have big population centers, you can get your hands on these ketchup chips as an American. And I assume in the modern age you could probably go online and buy these ketchup chips, but that's supposed to be a big deal for the Canadians. And then they've got some other food traditions that are great, like real Canadian bacon. It doesn't look like our bacon. We'll get to that in just a moment. The 2-2 from Tapman, airborne. Should be playable. Kyle Flora, the right fielder, coming on to snatch it for the final out of the inning. Lynchburg got a line drive double play, so it's only 3 faced for Logan Tapman despite giving up the base hit to Jack Fellner. Let's stay here, keep bantering about Canada a little bit. You've got NHL playoffs going on right now, but you certainly have the hockey traditions to talk about. Those are fantastic. The old hockey uniforms with the actual sweater, those are great. And so now the tradition, even though it's not a sweater material anymore that they wear, it's like you would imagine, like a nylon kind of composite dry fit kind of a fabric. They still call it the sweater. That the uniform, the jersey part, is still called the sweater. So that's cool that they've held on to that. Let's see if there's anything like that in baseball. You know, they used to wear those knit sweaters to warm up in the old baseball. You can go to the black and white and see some of those traditions. But what about other old school baseball things that have stayed with us? Now, superstitions, they're under a different category. Superstition rather than tradition. Let's see, because you got a lot there that are just, some are just borderline wild. But typically, you know, you don't step on the lines when you're going off and on and off the field. That's a tradition/superstition that is hung around. Not supposed to talk about no-hitters and perfect games and other little streaky things like that. The stepping on the lines thing, though, because you do have a few notable players that say that they don't care about that. I think Ricky Henderson was one of the most famous ones. He said he had a line like, I've worked way too hard on my game to worry about whether I step on the line or not going on and off the field. So I thought that was good. I think there's a good, healthy counterpoint to every point. Here's Kyle Flora. Point counterpoint as Isaac Brooks will buzz one at the knee for strike one. Hopefully some more things about the Great White North and Canada and Toronto specifically will come to mind when Dylan Bonzen bats again. Hopefully he does bat again. Bonzen was lifted for a pinch hitter in Game 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flora, Ryder Warren, Kyle Moshier due up for Lynchburg, 7-8-9. Think about the 8-hole for Lynchburg right now is a combined 2 for 2 with a homer and a double, but 2 different players. Gabriel Pegues sent one out of the ballpark, and then Ryder Warren doubled, RBI double at that. Great production from Lynchburg. We said there were DH options. Who knows? We might get a look at Eli Carroll again. Let's combine that now. Lynchburg's designated hitters in this series against Roanoke. They've gone a combined 5 for 7 with 2 home runs, 1 double, and this one's yanked foul. And the 8-hole, the designated hitters slot for Lynchburg in the 2 games against Roanoke has now combined for 8 RBI. That is massive. You got that kind of production from the bottom of your order, the tail end of the lineup wagging. You could get 8 RBI from your 8 slot. Oh, man. Flora is on everything. He's hit the ball hard 3 times. He's only got 2 hits. Had the runner interference on the ball where he hit Joe Munitz. Double and a single right now for Kyle Flora. 13 hits in the ball game for Lynchburg. Here is Ryder Warren. Second at bat of the game. Consider Ryder Warren again here real quick on a statistical quirk. 3 doubles, 5 home runs now on 11 hits. 8 extra base hits, 3 singles for Ryder Warren. The power is there. Power is definitely there. Pound for pound, some of the biggest pop around, Ryder Warren. 0-1 as he sprays Isaac Brooks' first offering foul. Kyle Moshier on deck is 1 for 2. Flora will be a candidate to run at first. Brooks kicks and fires, catches the edge. 0-2 with none out. We have reached the bottom of the 5th inning. We're over halfway home here at Fox Field in Lynchburg. Game 2 of our best 2 of 3 ODAC opening weekend. You know what we've got to do is get some score updates and see what's going on across the conference landscape. And we'll work on that right now. Brooks downstairs, chopped foul. It was close. 0-2. Ryder Warren fouling off a couple 2-strike deliveries. You know, early 2-strike action for Lynchburg was huge. Ben Jones had the 2-strike double that scored Brandon Garcia. Jack Pokerock hit a home run with 2 strikes. That was all in the first inning. Real value in that. Ryder Warren's going to spray one to left field. Bonzen back, ends up being fairly routine for him. Ryder Warren will be 1 for 2 now as he exits stage right. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. So yesterday, the action, baseball fans, it was Shenandoah 10, Hampton-Sydney 1 in Game 1 in Winchester. Randolph-Macon ends up blowing out Virginia Wesleyan 14-4. The wild game was a 12-inning thriller between Bridgewater and Washington and Lee. The BC Eagles had to come back multiple times against the Generals. And they even went down in the bottom of the 12th, but managed to scrape out a walk-off 1-run victory, 9-8. So all the top seeds held serve coming into today. Lynchburg, Shenandoah, Randolph-Macon, and Bridgewater all 1-0 in these best-of-3 series. And it looks like 2 of the games started at noon. Shenandoah and Hampton-Sydney not starting until 1 today. But we'll go to the live scoreboard, the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by JoJo's Pizza. Moshier nearly got hit by that one. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 5th, Lynchburg leads 9-1. Your score in Game 2, Washington and Lee 5 and Bridgewater 2. Generals looking to force the if-necessary game there. The score for Randolph-Macon and Virginia Wesleyan is Macon leading 5-3. That game's in the top of the 6th. And the other ball game going on in Winchester as Brooks misses with the frisbee, 2-1 count. They're tied 1-1 in Winchester, the Shenandoah Hornets and the Hampton-Sydney Tigers. So we'll keep our eyes on that stuff. Keep one eye on it anyway. 2-1's the count here. Under the zone, 3 balls, 1 strike. Brandon Garcia on deck. Garcia is officially 1 for 2. We had a scoring change, or maybe it wasn't even a change. It could have been just me. I think it's 2 errors officially right now for the Roanoke Maroons. Flora leads it first. Here comes the 3-1. That catches a piece. Brooks, coming at you from the sidearm submarine, typically those guys try to continue to keep the ball down. Sometimes they'll elevate the fastball as a strikeout pitch because you want the ball to typically just kind of start low and stay low when you're pitching from that arm slot. He'll end up walking Kyle Moshier. That's Brooks' first walk that he has issued. Lynchburg has taken 3 as a team now. Might be all for Brooks, but we'll just continue to talk about those sidearm guys. They can be really effective. You can typically get a bit more run and movement from that lower arm slot. You do sacrifice some velocity usually. You don't see guys really throwing fuzz from the sidearm and certainly not from the submarine. You kind of got to be 3/4 or over the top to really blitz the fastball in there. So what you lose in velocity, you gain in movement. And there are some pitches that kind of become impossible to throw from down there. Like you can't throw a 12-6 curveball. You can't really throw a 12-6 curveball from down there, but you can twirl off those sliders and sweepers, and you can throw a variety of changeups. We'll see a new arm slot now, though, as Roanoke is going to go to their fourth pitcher of the ball game. This will be number 10, Thomas Burgess. Burgess has done a lot of starting this year, and that might be the understatement of the afternoon because this will be the first relief appearance for Thomas Burgess. Roanoke, maybe if they could have been in good shape to win this game, might have been considering starting Thomas Burgess in Game 2. But instead, they're going to have to use him here in this is Game 2 of the series. But maybe they wanted to use him in Game 2 of the afternoon, 3 of the series. Instead, Burgess is in now, bottom of the 5th inning, with 1 out and 2 on. Burgess is 4-3 this season in those 10 starts. The earned run average, 8.18. He struck out 20 and walked 19. Batting average against Thomas Burgess this season has been .351. He was really good last year, and he's been more hittable this season. It will be a very big arm slot and visual change for the Lynchburg hitters. You think about Brooks was coming from the sidearm, and he was a shorter guy. Now you get Thomas Burgess in there, who stands at 6 feet 4 inches off the ground, and his release point is right around the bill of his cap or maybe a little bit higher. So think about combining 6'4" with a mound that is 12 inches off the ground. It means it's coming from about 8 feet back down to the strike zone. That could be difficult to hit, again, after you just faced a guy that kept it low in the zone and coming from a lower arm angle. I think it's a good change here from Roanoke, just from that visual standpoint. Now you got to throw strikes as well, and you hope you have swing and miss stuff, because we know Lynchburg, with 13 hits in this ball game, they haven't been swinging and missing much. Lynchburg has struck out 3 times as a team. Interestingly enough, those were all off the pitcher Chase Booth. Burgess pitched against Lynchburg in late March, 3 innings, gave up 7 earned runs on 9 hits. Here's Brandon Garcia, 1 for 2 today. Been aboard all 3 times, though. Walked and scored his first time up. 1 out, 2 on. First pitch from Burgess on the way now as he stands over the rubber. Longer hold. Got to watch those pitch timer violations. We've seen one today on Chase Booth, the pitcher for Roanoke. Ben Jones is on deck. Ben Jones is 2 for 3. 228 hits in his career. He's tied for the program lead. Another chance to break it coming up for Ben Jones. Maybe. Could be a double play scenario right here. Maroons have turned 1, 6-4-3. And I misspoke. It was 5-4-3 on Roanoke's double play. Lynchburg's double was 6-4-3. Short to second to first. Good location on the fastball for Burgess. Brandon Garcia, 2 hits on Friday, 348 on the season for him. Garcia waiting here. Same spot for Burgess. Called strike 2. Brandon Garcia in that win streak, the 22-game win streak, scored 45 runs. He's scored runs now in 32 of 37 ball games that he has played in. Did miss 1 with injury. That one's inside to Brandon Garcia. Now the count is 2-2. With 1 out, 2 on. Bottom of the 5th. Run rule will be in effect. Got to play 6.5 for that, though. Roanoke would have to bat 7 times. This one sprayed through the hole. That's a base hit, station to station for the Lynchburg runners. Second hit of the ball game for Brandon Garcia. 14th of the day for the Lynchburg offense. So Brandon Garcia will continue climbing the all-time leaderboards. And so will the man stepping in now. Bases loaded situation for Ben Jones. Left-handed hitting second baseman from Durham, North Carolina. Career hits for Ben Jones, 228. 50 his first year, 65 as a sophomore, 62 last year, and it's 51 so far in this campaign. First pitch is a 12-6 breaking ball that's downstairs, 1-0. Give it to you again, 50, 65, 62, and 51. This is game 38 of the season for Ben Jones. Pitch, also a miss, 2 balls, no strikes. Average by year, hit 314 as a Frosh, 330 his second season, 373 last year. And right now, 355 coming into this ball game. That does not factor the 2-for-3 line that he's got right now and whatever happens at the end of this at bat. 2-0. Inner half, Jones took it. Now it's 2-1 with Jack Pokerock on deck. JP, 1-for-3. 2-run home run. It was a highlight once again for Jack Pokerock. Jackpot Jack. He's hit quite a few of those. 2-1 for Ben Jones. Breaking ball, not there. Now it's 3-1, 1 out. Nowhere to put him for one of the elite eyes in our game. 176 walks for Ben Jones in his career. Walk here would be an RBI. The 3-1. Ben Jones got a lot of this. Hooking. Fair or foul? Foul ball. Very delayed call from our umpires. I think Ben Jones knew it, though. You didn't see him argue at all. He was getting down the line, keeping an eye on it, and a big smile on his face now. I think the smile indicates that he knew it was very close, but also knew that it was foul. No disagreement from first base coach Matt Balance either. Let's try it again now. Full count with 1 out. Ben Jones up the middle. Kind of a cue ball. Had some weird spin on it. It'll get the runner home. He's safe at first. It's an infield single that's going to score 2. Ben Jones is now the all-time program leader in career base hits, 229. He just beat it at first. Good wheels there. It was spinning. The shortstop, Jack Fellner, was coming on quickly. Knew he only had one way to go. He collected. Play was not complete at first anyway, but I think he beat it there. We'll see. We'll hold and wait and see if that's official. If it is, it's Ben Jones taking over the career hits lead from Gavin Collins. If it's a hit, it's number 15 in the game. We know the runs scored, though. Oh, now this ball's gotten thrown away. Roanoke starting to leak some oil here. The Maroons were thinking about a comeback attempt, but now defense is letting the visitors down a bit. Flores has scored in the inning, so has Kyle Moshier, and now Brandon Garcia comes home on a pickoff throw that went awry. Third run that Hollywood has scored in the ball game. Not great at the moment for Roanoke. Not what they wanted. It's never going to be easy to beat Lynchburg. You know you're going to have to play your best baseball, but always disappointing when you don't live up to the expectations. Burgess comes home to Jack Pokerock. Curveball, strike 1. Three in the inning now for Lynchburg. Hornets should be on top 11-1. Is it 12-1? We're going to double check all the numbers for you fans. Ben Jones leads at second, and he'll get forced back. This ball will go into center field. Ben Jones didn't need an excuse to take an extra 90. He gets there standing up. Yeah, it's 12. 12-1 is the Lynchburg lead. Can't have the run rule win just yet. Jack Pokerock's going to hit with a drawn-in infield. 0-1 is the count. With 1 out, sac fly in play. Jack Pokerock is the leader in those for Lynchburg. Not going to happen here as he's going to send one into the woodwork at Wake Fieldhouse. JP on the season, 8 sacrifice flies. He's a guy that gets the ball elevated anyway. We know that from 14 home runs. But back to, he really understands the assignment in these situations. The 0-2. You'll get that one airborne as well, but it's going to end up beyond the Roanoke bullpen. Umpire needs a new set of baseballs. We'll try things again here at no balls, 2 strikes. 1 out on the board. Ben Jones leading at third. Infield's in for Roanoke. Outfield straight away, normal depth. Burgess sent that one right down the other batter's box line. It's ball 1. Good location. Maybe it was a setup pitch, maybe not. I think a quality offering from Thomas Burgess. Burgess set now. He'll deliver the 1-2. That's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Quinn Madden on deck. Madden has doubled, walked, scored once, extended his hit streak. 14 consecutive for Quinn Madden. Looking to add another multi-hit game to the tally. The 2-2 to Pokerok. This one pulled through the hole. RBI single from Jack Pokerok. He's driven in 3. 74 ribbies on the season now for Jack. Ben Jones scores one more time for Lynchburg, and they lead 13-1. Offense is rolling for Lynchburg. 7th time in their last 11 games that they've got double-digit runs. And now for the Hornets on the season, they've scored 10-plus runs 24 times. Undefeated when doing so. 24 times in 38 games, Lynchburg has 10 runs or more against quality opposition as well. It's a Roanoke team with 23 wins. It's a Roanoke team that swept Shenandoah. Even Lynchburg didn't do that. Roanoke sweeping the Hornets from Winchester and also Bridgewater this season. This is a quality Maroon squad. Not having the best of days, due in large part to the skill of Lynchburg. Quinn Madden's early and on top of a 1-0 delivery. It'll bounce foul. Smart play by the third baseman, Hayden Giordano, to let that drift foul. If he tries to catch that fair, he's really going to have to hustle to get Quinn Madden. One and one here for cue ball, 374 on the season after a 3-for-5 performance on Friday. Madden, back to those high hands. You were talking about his batting stance. Let's get back to some batting stances here. Notice how high those hands are, a little circular movement. Most hitting coaches would encourage a little bit of movement with the hands. It's almost like a golfer's waggle. There's just a little bit of movement before the golfer takes the club back. You don't want to be completely frozen. You don't want to be a robot. Baseball, same way. Just a little bit of movement with those hands. Foul ball here from Quinn Madden. It'll be 1-2. Now you can have excessive movement for sure. And the waggle bat movement, you've got some great ones throughout the course of history. Gary Sheffield comes to mind. His was almost a violent action. And kids and probably adults would emulate Gary Sheffield in their wiffle ball games or their baseball games. Look up Gary Sheffield if you don't know who I'm talking about. This one's at the neck for ball 2. Barry Bonds had a pretty noted movement of his hands. Kind of pumped and cocked the bat a little bit before his stride, but then also during the stride, there was hand movement. This one's fouled away. In the modern era, I don't know, Jose Ramirez has some movement as he kind of twirls it in a circular motion like Quinn Madden. Hey, speaking of Jose Ramirez, picked up his 300th steal yesterday, and he needs 9 more home runs to join the 300-300 club. Only 9 members of that currently. Jose Ramirez, one of the all-time best. If you're ever around Cleveland, and Lynchburg hopes they are later on this year, you should go check out Jose Ramirez and those Guardians. He's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer for sure. 2-2 was a breaking ball that missed, and now the count is full. Could see some motion from Jack Pokerock at first. Lynchburg up 12-1 right now. Running game might be turned off for Lynchburg. Once again, you just never know. Pokerock not running. Madden out in front of that. It'll bounce off the tarp. 15 hits for Lynchburg. 15. It looks like that Ben Jones ball to the shortstop was not ruled a hit. So history on hold for Ben Jones, at the moment anyway. Guess he's already made history. He's already tied for the program lead. And even outside of that, Ben Jones has made a lot of history. So is Quinn Madden. He's waiting on a 3-2 from Thomas Burgess. That's a walk. First base on balls for Burgess. And it's the second of the inning, fourth of the ball game for Roanoke. Not going, again, the way the Maroons want it to. 5 consecutive base runners have reached in the inning for Lynchburg. One out, that was Ryder Warren who flew out. Flora singled, Warren flew out, Moshier walked, Garcia single, Ben Jones on with the error, Jack Pokerock single, he's at second right now, and Quinn Madden walked. And there has been some self-inflicted damage for Roanoke. The ball has been a little bit loose. Ball security, ball control. There's one that you don't talk about as much in baseball. It's an element, though. You hear about that in football and basketball more. Got to be able to catch and throw, though. And that's usually how it's phrased typically in baseball, right? It's you got to catch and throw, catch play, completing plays on defense. We don't really say ball security much, but I think you understand the phrase. And the ball control and security has not been ideal in this one for Roanoke. Breaking balls a strike. Joe Munitz has a 2-for-3 day working. Hasn't faced Thomas Burgess yet. Thomas Burgess has not gotten an out yet. This will be the 5th batter that he has worked to. The 0-1 offering is sprayed to left, and this ball's down. 3-hit day for Joe Munitz. Not the hardest exit velocity there for Joe, but he'll take it, and Lynchburg will too. 16 hits in the ball game right now for the home team, who is looking to secure win number 33 on the season and advance to the ODAC Final Four in sweep fashion. Joe Munitz has just collected his 7th career 3-hit ball game. Congrats, Joe. Sean Pokerock ready for the first one from Burgess. The 0-0 is inside. Sean hitless in this game. That was unimaginable the last 4 ball games where he could do no wrong. Rarely made an out. It's baseball, though. 2 sides to that baseball sword. It can turn on you quick. Breaking ball low, full low to bases with a 2-0 count. Hornets at every station right now. Lynchburg has already pulled away. They could separate even more here with a big swing from Sean Pokerock. Pokey ready for the 2-0. Rip down the line, foul. His brother Jack laying face first on the ground after seeing that whiz by his helmeted head. Oh, Jack had some fun with that. And hopefully you did too. Not so much fun for the Maroons right now, and we understand that. We like to be aware of that on these broadcasts, that, we're celebrating what Lynchburg does, but there is, again, another team out there, and it can be tough to be put in these situations. Baseball's a tough game, though. One winner, one loser. It's not easy. You play long enough, you're going to be on both sides of this sharp-edged sword. You're going to do some of the bashing, and you're going to get bashed sometimes if you play long enough and if you hang around long enough. 3-1 to Sean Pokerock. Curveball, strike 2. Bases loaded with 1 out. I think, once again, this Roanoke team has a lot to like for the future. Got to remember, teams like Lynchburg are going to keep working hard. They're going to try to improve. So is everybody else in the ODAC. It's tough. Here comes the 3-2. Ball 4. It's an RBI walk for Sean Pokerot. Lynchburg has taken 5 base on balls now. He'll bring home his brother Jack. JP steps on the plate one more time. Second run he's scored today. Kyle Flora up now. Will he be facing a new pitcher? We'll find out in just a moment. Kyle Haney on the first Sunday of May. Had a full moon on Friday, so it's still pretty full. But maybe not really worth talking about anymore. It will be a pitching change for Roanoke. Officially, the Maroons have been charged with 3 errors. Line score for Roanoke looks like this. 1 run, 4 hits. There's no extra base hits for Roanoke. 3 errors. Maroons have left 2 stranded, 1 in scoring position. Line score for Lynchburg, 14 runs on 16 hits. No extra base hits in a while, but there's 7 in the ball game. It's 5 doubles and 2 home runs right now for Lynchburg. No defensive errors for the Hornets. And at the moment, Lynchburg has only left 2 on board. There was a Brandon Garcia pickoff to end an inning. Roanoke turned a double play to end an inning. The home runs don't directly affect the left on base numbers, but certainly when you clear the bases with the home run, there's less chance that you're going to leave runners on. Lynchburg hitting with 2 outs they're actually 0 for 2 when hitting with 2 outs. So most of the damage coming with 1 or no outs for Lynchburg. The new pitcher announced was Trevor Orth. Trevor Orth will come on and enter with a 10.05 earned run average. He's 1-1 with 1 save. This will be the 12th time he has appeared out of the bullpen. Orth has made 1 start this year. He enters with a bases-loaded situation facing a hitter that has been very hot today. Kyle Flores hit the ball on the nose all 3 times. He has 2 hits for himself. First time up, he hit a rocket that Joe Munitz could not maneuver away from. It was an impossible maneuver for Joe Munitz, and he actually got hit. Runners of interference ended that inning. Back to those left-on-base numbers. 5th pitcher that Roanoke has used. Lynchburg has needed 1, just Logan Tapman. Nick Matfield would start the if necessary game today, looking more and more like it would not be necessary. That might mean Nick Matfield has to hang around after the game and do some side work in the bullpen. Maybe that could wait until tomorrow. I guess there is a possibility to bring in Nick Matfield out of the bullpen, but Matfield has actually never made a relief appearance in a Lynchburg uniform, so don't really expect to see that. If Lynchburg does need to go to the pen, I doubt it would be Nick Matfield. Orth comes home with the 0-0. Good life on the fastball, but it stayed upstairs, and it's 1-0 to Kyle Flora. Ryder Warren on deck is 1 for 2. Substituting in the 8 slot for Gabe Pegues, who ended his day with 1 for 1 and a home run. Pegues' 3rd bolt on the season. Lynchburg's got 50 as a team. Run down that home run list here at some point. 1-1 on the way. Flora jammed, popped up. Should be infield fly rule. That has been called by the field umpire. Flora is out. And now there's 2 away. Ryder Warren up for a 2nd time in the inning. Don't want to be the guy that makes multiple outs in the inning. Flo just popped out. Ryder Warren flew out to left his first time up. So I've got a pinch hitter on deck. Eli Carroll standing in the on-deck circle. We'll see what happens if Lynchburg ends the inning here. I would expect Moshier would go back to 3rd. And we'll see who leads off the next frame. This is the bottom of the 5th right now. Lynchburg on top, in charge. Warren taking a swipe at a disappearing, rising fastball. And he's down in the count, 0-2. 5 runs in the inning for Lynchburg, looking for more here. The 0-2. Orth got him looking. Froze Ryder Warren there. It was a great inning for Lynchburg. They're out in front, and the lead may be insurmountable for Roanoke. We'll see. We're heading to the top of the 6th inning. ODAC opening series play at James C. Fox Field in Lynchburg. Pitching change for Lynchburg to begin the top of the 6th inning. It's Bobby bullpen. Colin McGuire takes the ball for Lynchburg. McGuire, number 28. The earned run average is 1.95. 3-1's the record with 2 saves. This is appearance number 17 for Colin McGuire. That is shy of the team lead. Austin Riney with 18. Actually, the most appearances for a Hornet pitcher. Final line for Logan Tapman, 5 innings, 1 run. It was earned. He gave up 4 hits. Tapman struck out 3 and walked 1. I think a solid performance for Logan Tapman for sure. And it does put him in line for win number 7 on the season. Lynchburg leads 14-1. Top of the 6th, first pitch, hit off McGuire's foot, caroming into foul territory. He's got a noticeable limp. This is bad news for Lynchburg. Bad news anytime a pitcher gets hit, let's say that. But bad news when one of your key bullpen guys gets hit. It's always funny, when they talk about that. And, think about in basketball games when they'll bring in the subs at the end of the game because you don't want your starters to get hurt, right? Well, it doesn't mean you want the subs to get hurt either. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want any pitcher to get hit. But when you're Lynchburg and you are looking to make a long postseason run, it always makes you hold your breath when you see one of your key guys, Colin McGuire, take one off the foot. Athletic trainer Dane Bauer out there now giving him the once-over. The bullpen got busy quickly. These are situations that will test a coach because you may have some guys in mind that can get hotter than others. Some guys don't need as much time to get loose. So you may have one of those guys grab the glove and scramble and throw 5, 10, 15, 20 pitches really, really quickly. Now Colin McGuire is going to get a couple warm-up pitches to see if the foot is okay. This is not an official mound visit. Looks like McGuire is going to be okay based on the life that ball has out of his hands. It will be a base hit for Nate Prince, and it will extend Nate Prince's hitting streak. It's a 9-game hitting streak for Nate Prince. He's been aboard in 22 straight ball games now. Congrats to Nate Prince. 5th hit of the ball game for Roanoke. McGuire's staying on. He'll face Noah Donahoe. It's 1-2-3 for Colin McGuire here in the top of the 5th. It's still a stiff challenge, even though Lynchburg leads by a lot. 14 to be exact. 13. Bad math there. Broadcaster ran out of talent again. The score is 14-1. That means Lynchburg's got a 13-run advantage. Ball 1 for McGuire. Our producer, director, basketball savant, Demont, he reminded me that the Sacramento Kings have a fun, looping line drive, hit pretty well over the shortstop's head, fielded by Joe Munitz in left field. He'll throw directly into second base to keep Noah Donahoe at first. It's a single for Noah Donahoe and a 2-hit game for him. Nate Prince went first to third on that single. Sacramento Kings have a win tradition. We're going back to win traditions, like the Cubs flying a win flag. The Kings would light the beam. That was their thing. It was a beam of light, and then the player in the post-game interview would say, light the beam, and the announcers would say, light the beam. And I think they still do. They just didn't get many wins this year. Lazy fly ball, center field. Madden's going to get behind it. Runner tagging at third. Madden will just toss in to second base. No chance to get Nate Prince. There's the second run of the ball game for Roanoke. F8 sacrifice fly by Hayden Giordano scores Nate Prince. One out in the top of the sixth. The Pittsburgh Pirates would raise the Jolly Roger. They'd raise the pirate flag, the black flag, Blackbeard the pirate. There's actually several pirate flags in history. I think Blackbeard's was the most famous. Don't want to step into an area of history where I'm unsure of myself. Again, do your own research, baseball fans. There's so many things to look up. It's a 14-2 ball game now. That means Lynchburg by a dozen. 1-0 count. Michael Hetzel. He's got a hit today. Had 2 on Friday. Curveball. Strike 1. Colin McGuire on the season. 26 strikeouts to only 1 walk. Elite control. It's part of the reason why he gets the ball in these situations. Batting average against is pretty good as well. Hetzel's going to yank this one into his own bullpen, maybe just beyond that. Now the count is 1-2. Liam Murphy on deck. Murphy a walk and a strikeout. There's other win traditions, though, and hopefully others continue to get started. Mentioned Sacramento Kings. Theirs is relatively new. Hopefully you get some new ones that get started. Win songs. There's some famous win songs. Let's start right here at Lynchburg with the Snake Farm. That's been the win song for, I think, the entire decade of the 20s. Lynchburg has stayed with it. Tapper, Pokerock, and McGuire collided. Pokey actually got a decent release off, but it was off first base. Tricky one there. It's one that will occasionally get worked on in the PFP, the pitcher's fielding practice. But usually it's not a communication practice. You don't work on the catcher and the pitcher coming together. We've seen multiple bunts in this series that have featured the third baseman and pitcher getting close. Probably some value in working on those. Hard to simulate that full speed with the same kind of game pressure, though. Breaking ball from McGuire was true, and now it's 0-1. You can work on a lot of different things in practice, but really, really hard to get the game speed, game pressure simulated. You can get some strange situations in your games that you play, your intra-squad or inter-squad games. Some coaches will create situations. But some things, you're just going to have to figure it out on the fly in the game. You just don't really get to practice. There's so many different crazy permutations and oddball plays that there's always going to be something that goes unpracticed. That's where you just got to be an athlete. 2-1's the count. Other sports obviously have that. I'll tell you a note here, though, fans. You look at all the sports, you get a check swing from Liam Murphy. Every sport, a trait that is shared by great defenses is communication. Great defenses always communicate. That's across the board in any sport. That's one that you'll find. The great defenses, they talk a lot. What a snag there by Bryce Demery, assistant coach Bryce Demery. It's a chopper to the Lynchburg dugout, and he just casually got that big mitt out and hauled it in. That was smooth right there. Buttery soft hands from Bryce Demery. But back to the thought. You look at all the great defenses in every sport. They really communicate well. So important. Ground ball, left side. Mo Shear going to beat the runner to the bag for the first. Unloading for the second. Safe there. That would have been a fun play. Solid, though, from Mosh either way. It'll be a fielder's choice. 5 unassisted to outrace Noah Donahoe to the bag there. Liam Murphy safe at first. That gets Michael Hetzel to second, and here comes Hector Orozco. Orozco grounded into a double play himself to end the fourth inning. Also grounded out to Kyle Moshier once. So 2 balls left side for Hector Orozco. Outfield's got him played the other way. Infield straight up, normal depth. 2 outs, 2 on. 0-0 count. First pitch called strike 1 from Colin McGuire. And in baseball, even when there's nobody on base, you'll hear those great defenses. They're still communicating because they're backing the pitcher. You know, they're being the chatterbox behind the pitcher with the old hum now, babe. Keep coming, right-hander. Stuff like that. And you need that support as a pitcher. And those great defenses, even with nobody on, they're talking about potential scenarios, say like on a batted ball, a swinging bunt, an actual bunt. Catchers are always constantly reminding pitchers that they got to get over and cover first base on a ball to the right side. A lot of verbal feedback goes on with great defenses. I think same way in a sport like basketball. Even if you're not talking about your matchups, you're running down saying, hey, let's dig in, get a stop right here, stuff like that. Breaking ball, front door. Got that on the inside corner. Colin McGuire's got a 2-2 count. Deuce is wild here. 2 on, 2 out. 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Roanoke has scored. A chance to draw closer. Orozco got the bat off the shoulder. He didn't go, though. Sean Pokerok's going to ask the umpire, but yeah, right call there. Orozco did not go around. 323 season coming into it for Orozco. First-year guy, another one in the young talent category for Roanoke. Lot to like coming back. Full count. Runners will be in motion here. McGuire's pitch went back inside again. Orozco got a piece to stay alive. Team leader in average for Roanoke is Michael Hetzel. He's the only one over 400. Lynchburg's actually just one over 400. That's Sean Pokerot. One over 400 right now. Payoff, another payoff. This one down the right field line. Flora at the fence. He's run out of room, and we'll try it again. First real long at bat that I can think of for Roanoke. Orozco, some good fight to foul off a couple. This will be pitch number 8 of the at bat. McGuire's really had to work hard. He took a shot off of his own foot. This is an inning where he's faced 6. He's given up 3 hits. Looking to vanquish Hector Orozco. Jack Fellner is on deck. Does he hit with runners on here in the top of the 6th, or does Fellner lead off the 7th? This one ripped in the left center gap. Inning's going to continue. More runs coming home for the Maroons. Joe Munitz will pick it up and fire it in. No chance at the plate there. 2 RBI double for Hector Orozco. And the inning will continue. We will see Jack Fellner batting with runners on. 1 at second for Hector Orozco. RBIs 15 and 16 of the season. McGuire's given up 4 hits in the inning. That's not going to make him feel all warm and fuzzy. Roanoke has 8 in the game. Half of their hits are in this inning. And they've increased the run total as well. Breaking ball, strike 1. Four runs now for the Maroons. They've pulled back within 10. Run rule is still in play for Lynchburg, and the Hornets are coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th. 9-1-2 due up for Lynchburg. Might see a pinch hitter for Kyle Moshier, might not. 0-2. Nice start to this at bat for McGuire. He had 2 strikes on Orozco, though. See if he can get Fellner out of there. Just missed. I wonder if the foot's still bothering Colin McGuire. Not saying that Roanoke couldn't be doing this on their own merit. They're a good hitting team. You can just see on some of these landings here, as McGuire finishes his delivery, it doesn't look like he's sticking the landing. Doesn't look incredibly clean. Curveball downstairs. Nice block by Sean Pokerot. Catch play continues to be really good from Shawnee. Umpire will not go to the brush, but he'll just kick off home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild again. We've said that a few times in this inning. The inning has been extended. Swing and a miss. He got Fellner to swing and strike out. Damage done for Roanoke. They played 3 in the top of the third. 4 hits in the inning. They'll leave 1 stranded. No Lynchburg errors. Right now, heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, it's 14-4, Lynchburg on top. While we have a minute here in the middle of the 6th, let's go back to those win songs. Some famous ones, Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers play Randy Newman's I Love L.A. I think the Lakers also play I Love L.A. Maybe it's the Kings, the Los Angeles Hockey Kings. That can be confusing, too. We were talking about the Sacramento Basketball Kings. You've also got the Kings in hockey. But I think some teams use I Love L.A. by Randy Newman. That's a great tune. Let's see if we get to the middle of the 7th. We can talk about Take Me Out to the Ball Game again, which had a birthday on Friday, I think. Take Me Out to the Ball Game was copyrighted. The copyright came in like 1906 for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the great baseball song. But there's a few other win songs out there. New York Yankees typically play the New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. You know, These Little Town Blues, you know, that great song. So that's a fun one. And there's a few other fun win songs out there. Orlando Magic have a good win song as well. The Detroit Pistons have had, I think, multiple win songs throughout their career. I think we are going to get a pinch hitter here. We may get back to baseball songs and music and all kinds of things. Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers, they like to play the song Renegade. Was the band Styx or REO Speedwagon? Was that Styx that did Renegade? Let's get our thoughts on Jake Wright, who's the pinch hitter here. We'll look up more musical footnotes. Said we did have James Brown birthday today and Frankie Valli from the Four Seasons. Frankie Valli still with us. Jake Wright pinch hitting for the Lynchburg Hornets to open up their half of the 6th inning on the year this year. Jake Wright currently, as he swings through that one, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Average is at 250. He's 1 for 4. This will be the 10th game he's appeared in. Jake Wright has been productive in sacrifice bunting situations. He's got 2 of those this year. He's also drawn 2 walks, no strikeouts. Jake Wright has done some pinch running as well. Real Swiss Army knife kind of guy. And I think there's a chance, you know, in future years for Jake Wright to jump back into the starting lineup and play every day. But right now he's using that Swiss Army skill set to help the ball club any way he can. Had 7 starts last year, mustered up 12 hits total. He's going to go down on strikes for the first time this season, swinging through that one from Orth, and it will bring up Brandon Garcia hitting with the bases empty. 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th.
Stepping into the batter's box for the Hornets, number 7, Brandon Garcia.
Brandon Garcia, speaking of elite numbers, give you something for this year. 57 walks now. At one point he was the best in Division III baseball at taking walks. 57 walks to only 12 strikeouts for Brandon Garcia. Swung through that one. Orth's got some great action on his stuff, great pitching. Yes, the song is from Styx, the band Styx, Renegade, 1971. I was going to say the fun thing about the song, the Pittsburgh Steelers use it. The band Styx is actually from Chicago, Illinois, so there's a little quirk there. I guess we can mention the Virginia Tech Hokies football team with the Enter Sandman. That's one that they have used. I think a lot of teams were using Enter Sandman, but it just kind of became attached to Virginia Tech when the Hokies had a national championship run in the late 90s and some of those other great teams in the early 2000s. It sort of became their thing. I mean, there's no reason why other teams can't play Enter Sandman as the ball club comes out. For the Wisconsin Badgers, their football team, they do the jump around from House of Pain to start the 4th quarter. They do the jump around, and they say the stadium actually, you can feel it shaking, which is probably a little bit unsettling when you feel a stadium shake. Country Roads. John Denver's famous song, Country Roads. Now, the great thing about that is the Baltimore Orioles They play that, and they play, thank God I'm a country boy, at their ball games. And, you got West Virginia will use the John Denver song Country Roads. That was not a mound visit, by the way, as indicated by the home plate umpire. That was another one of those equipment malfunctions. Brandon Garcia hitting with a 1-2 count. Another famous baseball song coming up after this, and it's Brandon Garcia's team, the Boston Red Sox. They have the attachment to Sweet Caroline, playing that at all the games. What's interesting about that is that tradition's not that old either. And this is back to you can use and create your own new traditions. It seems like it goes back a long time, but they've actually only been playing it at Fenway since 2002. It's been the middle of the 8th inning of every game at Fenway since 2002. They did play it some before that, but it didn't become an ironclad, rock-solid thing until 2002. It's one of those things, it seems like it goes back to the 70s or something. Bouncer up the middle, off the arm of the shortstop, Fellner. Garcia's aboard. We'll see if that's a base hit for Brandon Garcia or another error. I think it's going to be 4 errors on Roanoke right now, if that is. And that's how we got started on the songs, was traditions. And song traditions are a part of baseball and sports as well, but some are not as old as you think. And there will be a new tradition started at some point by somebody, maybe soon, maybe today. Oh, drilled up the middle. Ben Jones has got that hit now. That is a clean base hit for Ben Jones, and he now becomes the all-time program leader in base hits. 229 hits for Ben Jones in his 4-year career. He will pass Gavin Collins, who's now in a solo second at the moment, but Brandon Garcia is running right up Gavin Collins' back, about to catch him in hits and perhaps even catch or tie his high school teammate Ben Jones. Wouldn't that be incredible if they end their careers with the same amount of hits? That would be mind-boggling, wouldn't it? Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 on with 1 out. And Jack Pokerot watches the breaking ball land for strike 1. JP's got an RBI single and a 2-run home run. He's driven in 3 to get him up to 74 on the season. Same action on the pitch, different result on the location. It's downstairs, good block by Danny Ferguson. Quinn Madden on deck. Madden's reached 3 times, 2 walks and a double for Quinn Madden. Garcia at second. Jones at first. They went inside, challenged Jack Pokerot. Got a little uneasy there with the bow tie. 2 balls and 1 strikes. There's got to be even more. We said Snake Farm. We're getting some people checking in now. We did mention Snake Farm for Lynchburg. It's one of the all-time great win songs, and we've heard it a lot over the years, haven't we? 15 times this season at home. We've had the Snake Farm celebration at Fox Field. Lynchburg 15-2 and 1 at home. 120-plus wins in the decade of the 20s for Lynchburg here at Fox Field. The Fox has been a fortress. 3-1 coming up to Jack Pokerot. See if he can get the head out on 1. Orth checks the runner. The pitch, he got hit again. No hit by pitch call from the umpire, so let's just score that as a base on balls. Base is loaded now for Quinn Madden. Lynchburg by 10, 14-4, home team on top. Quinn Madden with a chance to really get the game in a chokehold right here. I think Lynchburg's already got the ball game in a headlock, leading by 10. Madden swings through the first offering, 0-1. Joe Munitz on deck with a 3-hit performance so far today. All the stats are unofficial, but we can safely say that Ben Jones is your new program leader in base hits. Visit lynchburgsports.com. And those stats can get changed, too, on appeal from the coach. Sometimes the league office has to get involved, and that's fun. That's a fun element to the sports information side and the athletic communication side. Sometimes you got to take a video of a play and you got to send it in to the league office and say, what do you think, hit or error? I've got one coach who wants it to be an error and the other wants it to be a hit. The 1-2 for Madden struck him out. Nice hard fastball there. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Those are the only 2 outs so far. And it will bring up Joe Munitz in his 3-hit day. Major League Baseball and minor league baseball, there's an entire process for appealing something that's a base hit or an error or a statistical scorekeeping note. Sometimes, a batter will get it credited with a double. He thinks it should be a triple. Scorekeeper said, no, you advanced on the throw, those kinds of things. But there's a whole process, and you got to submit paperwork to get things changed. But they do often get changed, and there's a Twitter/X account dedicated specifically to Major League Baseball scoring changes. Been about a dozen or 15 or so already this year, which tells you how common it is. Keeping score in a baseball game is tough. They honestly say when you're keeping score on your own, you should make your own rulings. Just go ahead and decide yourself whether you think it's a hit or an error. Don't worry about whether it matches up with the official score or not. 2-1 to Joe Munitz now, with the bases loaded. Baseball scorekeeping, keeping score in a baseball game. That's a tradition in itself right there. That's quite a bit unlike other sports. It really goes back pretty far. You'd get the old program and it would have a score grid in there for you to keep score on. Sometimes people will create their own. You can buy a scorebook. You can do it electronically now. There's apps that you can download to keep score. Tom Hanks famously kept score on a typewriter recently. 2-2 to Joe Munitz. Got a piece of it, but Ferguson held on. 3 strikeouts in the inning, 3 left stranded there. And we will head to the top of the 7th inning. 10-run ball game. Let's see if Lynchburg can lock it down. We've got changes coming for the Hornets defense. We'll get you those in just a second. Fans, stay with us. This is LHSN on Flo. Here we go. We got Austin Riney on the mound for Lynchburg now. Riney is the team leader in appearances, and he'll extend that here. This is number 19 on the season. Earned run average, 1.04 for the lefty. Struck out 4, walked 0. He's usually a short order cook. A lot of times it's one batter for Riney, but he can go longer, and we have seen him go 1 inning recently. That was against Shenandoah last weekend. Austin Riney is on with a 10-run lead. Line score right now for Roanoke, 4 runs, 8 hits. They've made 4 defensive errors officially. There's no extra. Yes, there is. There's a double for Hector Orozco. 1 extra base hit for Roanoke. And the Maroons have left 3 on board now. For Lynchburg, officially, and this is on the website. This is not my box score. 14 runs, 17 hits. 7 of those are extra base hits, including 2 homers. Lynchburg has made no defensive errors. They've turned 1 double play. And the Hornets have now left 8 aboard, 6 of those in scoring position. Lynchburg 14, Roanoke 4. Because of the run rule, Roanoke needs to score here in the top of the 7th. 10-run rule ended the ball game in the 8th inning on Friday. Even that term run rule is a tradition that has changed. People used to call that the slaughter rule or the mercy rule. But over the years, they've sort of dropped that just because, do you need the qualifier in there? Do you need to say, well, the other team was getting slaughtered, so we stopped the game? That's just a 10-run rule. Ground ball left side. Riney's going to have to hustle over, catches the flip from Jack Polkarock. And there you go, 2 pitches. Riney did his job there against Danny Ferguson. Let's see if Riney stays on or not. Dylan Bonson is the next hitter, and no, it is one and done this time again for Austin Riney. The life of a lefty one-out only guy. Riney will hand the ball off after throwing 2 pitches, people. Great stuff, Austin Riney. Next pitcher looks like it's going to be Trent Judd. Trent Judd will enter. Let's get you his numbers. Earned run average, 2.65. 2 wins, no losses, 2 saves. This will be appearance number 17. So consider this, baseball fans, for the Lynchburg bullpen. Riney has appeared 19 times. Trent Judd 17 times. Colin McGuire 17 times. Those are the bullpen options right now for Lynchburg, the A side. I'd add Davis Watson in there, who's made 14 appearances out of the bullpen. We've been seeing Lucas Marrero a bit more out of the bullpen lately. He's done good work. And the options and list goes on. You have a lot of guys that'll be ready for an opportunity, ready for a chance. But right now, it's just those premier options. Colin McGuire first, then Austin Riney, and now Trent Judd. Judd will enter to face Dylan Bonson. Let's see, where were we with the conversation and the digression? I think digression is the spice of life, don't you, baseball fans? Or maybe it's those ketchup potato chips from north of the border. We've got Toronto's finest, Dylan Bonson, stepping in. The mercy rule, slaughter rule. I think in 2026, and this has been happening for a while, it makes sense to just drop that because we all know what it is. We all know if you just say run rule or 10-run rule, we all know that the game has been stopped after a certain distance because one team is up 10 runs. In softball, it's an 8-run rule. And other sports have, running clock rules and things like that when the game is at a certain margin. Back to Dylan Bonson. Let's add a little bit more Canadian flair to this thing. Put some maple syrup on it for Dylan Bonson. We talked a little bit about Canadian sports, but what about the great sport of curling? That is so much fun. There is a curling facility in Charlotte, North Carolina. Next time we're down there, we got to try that. We got to give that a shot, baseball fans. Try some curling. Wonder if Dylan Bonson has done any curling or played any hockey. Canadian football, that's a vibe all its own. Canadian football with the slightly different rules. The Toronto Argonauts is the team in Toronto, the Argonauts. They say Canadian football is actually not that big in Toronto and Ontario. It's bigger out in the western part of the country. British Columbia, Calgary, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. But for all we know, Dylan Bonson might be a big Canadian football Toronto Argonauts guy. He's facing Trent Judd. He'll swing at the second pitch. 4 pitch innings so far for Lynchburg relievers Austin Riney and Trent Judd. Ben Jones went out navigating shallow right field to catch that ball. Last out right here for Roanoke unless they score, Nate Prince. He extended his hit streak. It was a single against Colin McGuire. He struck out twice. Lord Botetourt High School. There's a connection to baseball there, and the baseball-cricket connection that I like. Lord Botetourt was a historical figure. Oops. Nate Prince is going to go to first after the hit by pitch. 5 pitches in the inning now. It'll bring up another Lord Botetourt guy, though, Noah Donahoe. Donahoe hit his 8th home run of the season on Friday. Lord Botetourt, in one of his letters or journals, he talked about playing cricket back in the 1700s. So that is one of the ways that we know that baseball actually evolved from the game of cricket, because Lord Botetourt, who had the high school named after him outside Roanoke that Noah Donahoe went to, he played some cricket back in the day. Nate Prince, that one got him on the funny bone, which is a terrible name for a nerve, because the funny bone actually involves the ulnar nerve. But it's a terrible name because it's not funny at all when you get hit there. Looks like Nate Prince has shaken some feeling back into the hand and arm, and he's okay to run the bases here for a high school teammate, one of the guys that went to the same high school, Noah Donahoe. Donahoe's a first year. Prince is a senior. And it's a bittersweet moment for the guys for Roanoke that will be ending their careers now as well. We're talking about Ben Jones taking over the career hits lead, all these things Lynchburg players have done in their career. You got a group of players for Roanoke that this is it right here, and this is a tough moment. It is a tough moment when you see the end of your playing career, at least as a collegiate athlete, start coming to a close. Might be happening right here. Ground ball left side. Brandon Garcia got it. Ball game. Lynchburg wins it by 10, 14-4 in the top of the 7th inning. It's a third consecutive run rule victory for Lynchburg. That goes back to the second game against Shenandoah, and the Hornets will advance to the ODAC Final Four. We will step aside. We're going to take a break here. We got a new format, DeMont. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the interview and the box score, and we will put a bow on the box and a nice 2-game series sweep for Lynchburg. Hornets win this one 14-4 over Roanoke. We'll wrap it up in just a moment. Oh, the Snake Farm celebration is on now at Fox Field. Lynchburg wins it 14-4 over Roanoke. The Maroons will end their season at 23-18. Once again, I'll say I think a very successful year. Winning record for Brett Kamansky in his second season. They have a lot of talent coming back. 2-hit day for Noah Donahoe. Nate Prince is going to end his career on a 9-game hitting streak. Multi-hits in this one for Michael Hetzel again. He had a very good series here against Lynchburg. Watch for some big things against those guys. Line score for Roanoke, 4 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, and those 4 errors were pretty costly for the Maroons. They gave Lynchburg some bases, and I think it just sucked the energy out of Roanoke's, just their whole vibe. Looks like the Maroons will end up leaving 4 on base. For Lynchburg, Line score is 14 runs on 17 hits. 7 of those were extra base hits. They got 2 homers, one from Jack Pokerock, one from Gabe Pegues. For Jack, home run number 14 on the season. He's driven in 74 now. Gabriel Pegues, 3 home runs in only 26 at-bats. How about that for power numbers? Way to go, Gabe Pegues. 17 hits total, no errors. Lynchburg will end up leaving 8 stranded. And we get to talk to Hollywood here. Brandon Garcia, slap that headset on. I have been waiting all season for this. Let me tell you what we brought up. We were talking about great baseball songs. Snake Farm is up there.
Yes.
But we talked about Sweet Caroline for your Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
You've heard that in person, right?
I have, multiple times. Yes, sir.
How electric is that feeling?
Nothing beats it.
You know
Nothing
what?
Beats it.
The crazy thing, I looked it up, is, and we are going to talk about us. But the crazy thing is the tradition's not that old. How old do you think the tradition is, or have you looked this up?
No,
too?
I have no idea.
Because you're like me, you got a curious mind.
Yeah, no, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, so
I'll go 50 years on the dot.
Yeah, see, not as long. Not as long. It goes back to they started playing in the 8th inning every game in 2002.
Oh, that's not long at all.
Not long. They had like played it a few times before, and I guess maybe the fans liked it. So hey, we got to lock it in. All right, now you, my friend. Great game, fantastic play in the first inning there. Let's start with defense. Describe that play, taking it to the backhand side. It wasn't the full Derek Jeter, but gosh, it was a 10 of 10, buddy.
Yeah, just working to that side and that 6 hole. I know how to get rid of it quick. Long throw, but put it on the money. But yeah, just trying to go make some plays for Tapman on the mound. So
absolutely. How quick does that happen where you decide, hey, I got to get rid of it quick, or maybe I can put the foot down and load up? Like, you're doing that computation on the fly.
Yeah. Obviously it starts with kind of like pre-pitch, knowing who's at the plate, knowing who's hitting, how fast they are, how maybe not fast they are. Those kind of things, knowing where the ball might be hit based on the pitch we're throwing and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of pre-pitch thought, and then obviously like once the ball's hit, you're kind of just making a play from there. So
let's go back to you swinging the bat here. 2 hits in this one, 2 hits Friday. You've played 45 postseason games. This is the postseason. That's wild to think about. It also means you're almost an old man. But tell me about your approach right now at the plate. It looks like you're pretty wired in.
Yeah, just trying to get good pitches to hit. Obviously, being the leadoff, like that at bat, a little different. Just trying to see some pitches for the guys behind me, get on base, make something happen. But after that, it's getting good pitches to hit. I want to hit some fastballs and hit fastballs that are where I'm looking for them, and adjusting from there. Being comfortable with 2 strikes if I don't get my pitch before that. So yeah.
How about the rest of the offense? 2 bolts today, 5 doubles, bunch of singles.
Yeah.
Some bunt singles in there as well. I mean, this is a complete package on offense.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, we try to do everything we possibly can. We're not going to be one-dimensional. We're going to do whatever it takes to win the game, whether that's bunts, stealing, hitting. Whatever it takes. But yeah, we're not one-dimensional. We pride ourselves on, doing a lot of different things well. So.
All right, same question I've been asking everybody. Is it tough to find the balance between, hey, we got to have fun, we got to continue to get better. We know we're putting more pressure on ourselves than anybody outside, but we want that pressure. We want to push ourselves to be the best, but you also got to find the fine line of not being too hard on yourself. Is it tough to find that balance?
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Obviously, we have a lot of expectations of where we think we can go this year, and definitely balancing those expectations with just playing the game that's in front of us. Obviously, we want to go do a lot of things this year, win a lot of games, but I think what keeps us, motivated is kind of just the 1 inning at a time mantra. Trying to win 1 inning at a time, which that'll lead to winning games and take us to where we want to go. So
you've played so many games now and so many postseason games. You still get the extra electricity when it comes to playoff baseball?
Oh yeah, no doubt. The motivation is winning. So whatever game it is, you go out there and you try to win. So
love it, man.
Yeah.
Love talking to you. Glad we got to do it.
Thank you.
Go Red Sox. They're going to get better. They're going to get better.
Boy, I hope so.
They will. They'll be
you.
good. Brandon Garcia, everybody. Another great game for him. Lynchburg wins it 14-4. Hornets record now 33-4-1. 33 to the good. 4 to the bad, 1 tie for Lynchburg. It's been absolutely phenomenal this season. This is probably our final game at Fox this year, fans, so it's a little bit bittersweet for us. Tough day for Roanoke. Again, best of luck to the Maroons the rest of the year. If you're still on the broadcast, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. For Lynchburg fans, the next stop will be Tyson's or Tyson's Corner, whichever you prefer, on Thursday. Time to be announced, opponent to be determined as the rest of the ODAC tournament is going on. Visit ODAConline.com to get those tournament scores and figure out who Lynchburg is going to play. And, of course, stay up to date by plugging in with us on social media and visiting LynchburgSports.com. The schedule will be there. Now, I've been saying, regardless of result, next week in Tyson's at the Final Four, Lynchburg's going to be in the NCAA Regional, but we don't know where that will be. Lynchburg might have to travel. They might host, but it could be over at City Stadium or perhaps at Liberty University or maybe another ballpark somewhere. There's options actually to host outside of your own town. There's room in there that the NCAA gives you. So we'll figure all that out. But either way, we'll try to be bringing it to you at a high level. We'll say so long for today. Big thank you to everybody from the LHSN team, the sports info side, all the fans, all the alumni, and everybody that helps us out with these broadcasts. Lynchburg, a winner, 14-4. They're moving on. Hornets rolling in 2026. The Vibes train locomotive still on the tracks and expecting big things. We'll talk to you soon, baseball fans. Have a great rest of your Sunday.